you know, if there's openings later on in the year for RPGs, and then there's a consideration to do like Mario plus Rabbids or Midnight Suns or something else, but, you know, I can't just sit here playing RPGs constantly, you know? Okay, you guys are saying we hit our 100 likes goal? Let me take a look. It says that we have 99 likes. What are you talking about? It says we have only 99 likes. I'm just kidding. It says we have 100 likes. I'll do my celebratory bubble blow. All right. There we go. Very nice. Now, oh, the bubbles got all over my keyboard. Hold on. I got to clean my laptop. It went all over the soap. Oops. Definitely got to clean that up. Can't leave that on there. Don't want that getting into the laptop. There we go. All right, there we go. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you see the flex when I was cleaning my laptop? Look at the flex. The non-existent flex. Did you see it? Anyway. So. Okay, what do you guys want to talk about? We still have time. We still have like some extra time. If you guys have any other topics you want to discuss, we got some time. Thank you, X Shooter, for re-upping your membership. It's good to have you here today, X Shooter. How you doing? I don't have a favorite Indian food, particularly like curries. I like biryani. Is it biryani? Biryani rice. I like that. I'm a big fan of that. Those are probably my two favorites. And of course, the naan bread. Those are my favorite things, but I don't have a particular favorite thing. Oh, Estiglfire? How do you say your name? Estiglfire? Why are we talking about a Silent Hill 2 remake that doesn't have a release date, and you're asking me if I'm going to play it on hard mode? You're like, you're ages ahead. You're light years ahead of anything in reality right now. Carlton Jr. says, I'm campaigning for a Hi-Fi Rush playthrough because it's not too long. Maybe it's in the pipeline. We'll see. Possibility, for sure. Yeah, right. Sarah says, why can't you accept that your audience are all RPG-obsessed nerds, myself included? Because they're not. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I wish that this audience, the mainstream audience, liked RPGs more. Right now, we have over 500 people on the stream. There's a lot of people here because I'm playing Dead Space. You notice that? You notice whenever we play action-oriented games or horror games, there's more people. You notice whenever I play an RPG, there's way less. I love RPGs. I grew up playing them. I'm a humongous fan of them. Okay? I wish more people would watch me play RPGs, but when I play One Piece, when I play, these other RPGs, it just doesn't work. It's it's always slow, and there's nothing I can do about that. All I can tell you is I'll try to give you exposure to RPGs and balance that with other content. Who knows? Maybe someone who's come today to watch Dead Space all day long will enjoy, and then tomorrow say, I just want to see what Phil's doing tomorrow. And then they come back and they watch me play One Piece Odyssey, and they're like, whoa, this is pretty good. Then I guess I've done my job. But outside of that, there's not much else I can do. I can't make you like a genre. I wish. Okay. Which came first, Dead Space or BioShock? BioShock. BioShock was out before I was a YouTuber. Yeah. I played BioShock ever before I ever became a YouTuber, while Dead Space came out just as I was starting to upload videos to YouTube regularly. So. Okay, more shout-outs. I got a $2.08 tip from James. Says, Hi-Fi Rush might be one of the best games of the last decade. Looking forward to you playing it. All right, thank you. I guess we'll see, again, if and when I get to it. We got a busy schedule for this week for sure. We'll see what happens. I'm not opposed to trying it after the fact. And I got a $1 tip. Gamer Guy says, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. People will complain if you play what you want to play. Then they complain if you don't. There's just no pleasing anyone these days. Exactly. It's as I said. You can please some of the people all of the time. You can please all of the people only some of the time. But you simply cannot please everyone all the time. It's not possible. Because everyone has different tastes. Everyone's looking for something different. Some people want my old style commentary. Some people like my new style of content creation. Some people like interactive streams. Some people like it when I focus more on the game. Some people like more RPG. Some people like more action-based games. You know, I can keep going on and on. Some people like subtitles. Some people don't. Some people like it when I read in the game. Some people say, just shut up. We'll read for ourselves. You know, I can... it never works. There's no consensus on these things. All you can do is do your best and try to make people happy with what you have. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've done for 15 years. It's what I strive to do. I know that I can't please everyone, so. But there's also something to be said, keeping an open mind, listening to criticism, and learning from mistakes and trying to improve, correct? That's definitely something that has to be done. You can't just be ignorant of what people are saying. You have to try to take criticism and learn and roll with those punches that you take, but at the same time, improve yourself, right? It's what I strive to do as well. Okay. Let's see here. Mr. Futterman says, even believing you can please all the people some of the time is optimistic at best these days. Some people just will never be pleased no matter what you do. You are absolutely correct. That is a 1,000,000% correct statement from my experience. It doesn't matter. As I said, I could literally, in one day, cure cancer, stop a bus full of school children from going off a cliff, right? Stop an alien invasion single-handedly, right? And cool down the sun as it was going supernova, threatening to destroy our solar system. And then when I land back on Earth, right, someone would complain that I accidentally stepped on their cat's tail doing it. And therefore, I'm a horrible person. You know? There's nothing you can do. You will always be, you know, there's always going to be that element. You know, I know that. Okay. And just for the record, I did all that yesterday, just so everyone knows. Okay. No, Ramrod, I've answered this question a million times. I don't know why people keep bringing it up. I cannot do a classic-style DSP stream where I point a camera at the TV. I don't own a camera anymore to do that, okay? I don't have the lighting to do that. I don't have the means to do that. Those videos are humongously, outrageously large to be recorded. Can you imagine the size of it? First of all, I wouldn't even be able to make an hour-long video. It'd have to be way shorter. I'm not going back 10 years in time to make... I can't stream it. I couldn't even live stream that. Like, why would you ask for that? No. Okay, how about this? No, 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 no. Well, wait a minute. Let me think about it for one. No, I'm not going back and doing that. That would make absolutely no sense for anybody. Okay, I received a $2 tip. No. Never mind. Never mind. It never happened. Okay. Can I do a handstand and put a jar of mayonnaise balanced on your feet? I really want this. Can I do it? Yes. Will I do it? Remains to be seen. Do I think the U.S. and Canada could ever merge or would ever merge? How would it go? Oh, man. I don't know. How could you combine all that maple syrup and hockey pucks and smash it into that ginormous amount of, like, fried chicken and mashed potatoes? I just don't know how that could possibly work. That would be a huge mess. Any New Year's resolutions for 2027? Yes, to be alive. It would be great if I could be alive in 4 years. That'd be my resolution. Thank you, Hank. Or Hark, for asking. How many jars of mayo would I consume in one sitting if I got paid to eat $1 million for each? None, because that's disgusting. I would not do it. I don't do stunts. Sorry. Oh yeah, Guts has been playing a lot of games on his Switch, including Persona 4 Golden. Great game. Uh, Resident Evil 4 and Assassin's Creed. I don't know how those perform on the Switch, but I'm happy to hear you're enjoying your Switch. Crasco, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Yes, I think they will remake 2 and 3 if this one's successful. I already said that. I definitely think they will. Is Dead Space a new game? Huh? This is a remake. This is a remake of a 2008 game. Is it a new release? Yes. Is it a whole new game? No. Oh, man. All right. At this point, basically, the questions are either repeating or nonsensical. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for a great introduction to the stream. I hope that you will. Well, first of all, thanks for chilling with me in the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I gave you my little history there of Dead Space, how much I enjoy the franchise. Hope you know what it means to me. I'm very excited to now jump into the game and see what the remake is about, see how good it is. Again, judge it for what it is. Be fair to it, but at the same time, be firm to it. Fair and firm. The best way to be a parent, the best way to judge anything critically, fair and firm. No soft touches. Okay? You can't grow with a soft touch. Let's put it that. What is going on? I don't know. Let's end the show, everyone. Thank you for watching. But in the meantime, I hope that you will join me in a couple of weeks for a very special event coming up. I hope you're ready for some football. Okay. All right, let's get swapped over here. Let's get everything adjusted. The camera needs to be resized. I'm debating. I think I'm going to move my webcam. I think I'm going to move it further up. I think it's too far down. See, I have it in a certain position to not block stuff when I'm playing Oblivion or when I'm playing Warzone, but I think I need to move it now. I can move it further up. If this is anything like the original Dead Space, then it's going to have a non-intrusive UI. What that means is Dead Space attempted to make it hyper-realistic by having all of your stats, like your health and your ammo, be integrated into your character model. Instead of having a meter here that says, oh, 20 ammo and a life bar, instead, it's supposed to be integrated into the game visuals, which made it more immersive. It was really unique how they did that 15 years ago because no other game had really done it like that before. Okay? Okay, guys. Let's take a very brief break. I'm going to use the restroom. When I come back from the restroom, we start with Dead Space. Sound good? I'll be right back.
You do what I do because you're funny and you can make people laugh? What a joke.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome. To and Endure the King. Holy shit. Probably not gonna watch the whole thing, but we're gonna watch enough. We're gonna watch enough. God damn. He's still not back from break, man. Crazy. Okay. Let's do part one. Let's see. That looks pretty good. Alright, let's get the guy. We gotta get the guy up. Bam. Since there's no timestamps, I gotta do it myself. Yes.
Technically, I've been doing this show.
No, is this too loud?
For 14 years. Holy
Let me know.
moly, that's a long time. You could go back to each Ask the King and see me change. You could see my body type change from bloated to skinnier. You could see my hair get older and grayer. You could see my jowls get bigger and flappier.
The jowls.
Actually, it's not true. I think my jowls are just the same. But anyway, man, this is by far my longest running show that I've ever done on the internet. Welcome one and welcome all. I hope that you're ready for some fun Q&A today. The intro, here's what happened. So I always use that mail motherfucker intro, right? Recently, what I did is I migrated a lot of my resources off of my local hard drive that has the OS on it to my side storage hard drive. I was basically trying to make the computer run.
Oh my god, holy shit. Let's get past this shit.
Copy paste the best.
Oh my god.
Everywhere. We to ask the stream chat for questions today.
Dude, this is getting annoying.
This episode of Ask the King, there's many ways you can do. Majority.
I'm already
Have
annoyed.
been taken from members. In addition to that, if you become a patron, $20 patron pledge, all right, definitely will earn you a guaranteed answer on the show. And we have one person who actually took advantage of that this time.
Only one person?
Questions.
Come on. He has 470 people. No one took advantage.
Wow, excuse me. That's the old site that's been defunct for over a year. DSP Gaming.
Wait.
At this time, that will be answering their questions.
Oh shit.
Outside of that, you can post them on my forums. The King of Hate. Excuse me. Wow.
Yeah, got him.
That's the old site that's been defunct for over a year.
It's the same site.
DSPgaming.com. All right, DSPgaming.com, and the link's already live. If you type exclamation point Ask the King into the stream chat, the link will pop up. You can click, and you can already go to the next show 2 months later. The end.
Holy shit.
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
I answer your question. 100 likes today. I'm still going to $100 of support on any stream to the next level of reward. Right?
Right?
Different, huh? You can actually see the Pac-Man ghost.
Okay, really we get it.
Okay. Better, more professional. Because I have very
shit.
things I need to read you guys. See
what?
How important this is. Huge announcement. Blank sheet. Stop this!
What the fuck is this? Breaking news.
All right.
Okay.
There's a ghost. Is there a ghost? Did you guys see a ghost when I was gone?
Oh my god, this is fucking lame.
There was a ghost? What did it look like? I missed it. I was using the bathroom. I missed the ghost.
Okay.
It's Nightbot. It does not say Dead Space Remake. It doesn't?
It doesn't?
What does Nightbot say?
What
it
the
says
fuck?
Dead Space Remake all day long. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Look, it says, what are you talking about?
What?
I just tested it, and it says Dead Space Remake.
Dude, what is... Okay, we're going back to this.
Lighting here. So I hope that the show looks good to you. Some people are saying you can't really tell the difference. That's because we're using a backlight that's very similar to the color of how the office used to look anyway.
Backlight.
So I hope that it's entertaining to you guys. All right? All right. Without further ado, I think it's time for us to jump in and start answering all of your questions. Sounds good?
Sounds
So,
good.
let's do this. Muckman in the chat says, I actually bought Callisto Protocol, only $49. It was cheaper. Based on your feedback, I'm glad I did because it's an enjoyable game. Thumbs up, that's what it's all about, my friend. Thank you for sharing it. All right, let's get to questions. Our first questions are from Slayer. He is the patron who took advantage of his patronage this month. It's patreon.com/darksidephil, by the way, if you want to check it out. And he asked 2 questions. I'm going to be honest with Slayer. I'm going to do my best to answer them, but I don't think I can answer them as well as he thinks I can answer them. All right? You'll see what I mean when I read the questions.
What the fuck?
Question number 1.
All right.
After watching the videos of the hardest K-pop dances
Oh,
and the
boy.
patron private reactions, what are your thoughts on the choreography, dances, and the difficulty and complexity in general based on what you saw so
Yeah, that's
far
all right.
comparing to American pop? Just to clarify,
Shit.
in the video, you had the impression that the
I
hardest
did
K-pop
not
dances
make
are
a
based on
mistake.
hard-hitting moves, but hard K-pop dances are actually based on the difficulty to execute the dance based on how hard the dance is. Executing the dance correctly based on the concept and energy of the dance as well, so the dance may not look hard-hitting, but it can be hard because of the dance complexity and the steps to the concept of the dance.
Slayer gave him that question. He paid, and gave him that question
Okay.
about
Allow me
K-pop.
to
I don't even know what the question was.
Recently, I did some private
What was the
reaction videos to my
question?
patrons. It's one of the perks you can get for being a patron of mine. One of the videos that Slayer chose to have me react to was K-pop dances. Now,
Okay.
the first video that he had me react to was called Hard Hitting Dances. So it was all like angled hard dance moves, like boom, like juddering moves and things like that. Okay. Then he had
Okay.
me react to another one, and I completely misread it. I thought it was a similar video to the first one. It actually wasn't. This video was difficult dances, but it was titled hard dances. So here I am watching it, and I'm like, oh, well, it doesn't seem so hard-hitting. And that's the commentary I'm doing. Come to find out, I'm completely misunderstanding what
Oh
the
my
video
god,
was
this
supposed
is
to be.
this is getting annoying.
Because of the way that it had been titled. I really wish they had titled it more difficult dances. Then I probably would have understood it more. There were some really difficult moves. Like, there was a move where all these guys were lying in a ring on the floor.
Oh my
Because
god, I do not
because
care.
when I watched the video, I watched it with one thing in mind, completely misunderstanding it. If I were to rewatch that
Oh
video
my
again,
god, we're still on this
you
question.
know, I think it was like a 15-minute long video, I would likely see it from a whole different perspective by level of difficulty rather than a level of stuff they were doing was I would watch some music videos and this was the countdown show where every day people would phone in. Yes, phone in, because there was no internet voting at the beginning of this. What dance video dancing rather than their music video.
Oh my
So, you know,
god.
what was I listening to?
Every
People
Ask the
were
King.
completely
We
saying,
get a
"Hey,
K-pop question now.
You're looking up the wrong direction. Let's put it that way.
What?
This and that. You know, I can't. I'm sorry. You know, you're definitely barking up the
Huh?
You're looking up the wrong direction. Let's put it that way. I forgot the saying I wanted to use there. I combined like 7 of them
God.
together. I don't have that.
This is a chore to sit through.
Give you an intelligent answer on American dancing techniques versus Korean dancing techniques. But I do enjoy watching the videos that Slayer has me react to. It's different from something that I would normally watch. It's definitely not in my level of expertise or comfort zone. I still find it entertaining, and I really enjoy those videos every month. So thank you
Okay.
for your ongoing support.
I appreciate watching the videos, Slayer. Thank you.
know, the variety of videos you give me. It's not always K-pop stuff. He gives me a lot of other stuff too to react to.
Like what?
Case in point, his second question. My second question is another question based on your private react. After watching a video on the best and worst of each U.S. state, even though it is 5 years old and outdated, what's your impression after learning what each state is best and worst as a whole?
Oh my
Can
god,
you
what
give
the
examples
fuck?
to the
What
viewers?
is this?
Want to know why I can't give examples to the viewers? Because I don't really remember them. And you know what? This actually is my answer to the question. Slayer had suggested a YouTube channel to me many months ago. He said, you're doing React content now. Why don't you react to this channel for your viewers? This would be one to react to. So I ended up
What's the
watching
video?
one distinct video I remember from the channel. And it was about something about like digging into the Earth's core and, you know, how deep had anyone ever dug before they reached the limit where they couldn't go any deeper? What did they find and stuff like that? So I'm watching the video, and quite frankly, the video is fascinating.
What?
It is. It's
Yeah?
fascinating. But at the same time, it's a little dry and boring. And what I mean
Oh
by
my
that
god,
is
this
being
fucking
factual,
dude. He
it's
watches
not
Rob
like
Gavigan videos, and he's like saying, this is boring.
watching the video, it's like, wow, I'm blown
Okay.
away, I'm entertained, or anything like that.
Okay.
It seems like this YouTube channel is more like if you really want to learn, facts about certain topics, they do some interesting videos about them. But it's not necessarily like, wow, I really want to go to this and just react to a ton of videos from this channel, just because a lot of the topics are unrelated. And again, how much do you want to really learn, scientifically or factually when you're watching someone do reacts online? You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
I could see maybe every once in a while I do a video like that, but this isn't something that I could see myself doing. Hey, we're doing a react event today, and for 5 hours I'm reacting to a channel that does scientific facts. It'd be like,
Scientific
what?
facts?
So
What?
I watch 2 videos, I'll go right to sleep. Right? You know what I mean?
But he
That's the
he
kind of
watches Rob
channel
Gavigan
that
stuff
you watch
though.
in your own time casually to learn stuff. But I don't think it would be anything that would be too good for react content.
And you know he says this, but he wants like all this content on YouTube to be positive and smart and all this stuff. He gets that video. It's too boring. Can't watch
I
that.
disagree, but that was my take on it. All right. Now, what ended up happening was Slayer had me react to a completely different kind of video this channel had put out. This one, rather than going in depth into something scientific, basically reviewed all 50 states in the United States and said what's like one of the best things about it and one of the worst things. Like, what are they known for as the best of and the worst of? And going through it, some of the stuff, I was shocked. I was like, how could that be? And other stuff, it was kind of like, well, that's interesting.
Hell,
But
Slayer.
every time that this happened, here's honestly what I felt about the video. I kind of felt like it was a frivolous video.
Frivolous video.
Good. And you could say, well, why? What was wrong with the video? Well, first of all, the video was 5 years old, and a lot of the things that they were saying in those videos likely today don't apply anymore because when COVID hit,
Oh my god,
the
what?
pandemic that is,
What?
a lot of things changed here in the United States.
He
A
talks
lot
about
of
the
things
show,
about
but doesn't
COVID,
explain it.
a lot of things about income, a lot of things about
Whatever.
how jobs work, how businesses work. So you're looking at 5-year-old stats that completely could have been flipped up on their own heads when the pandemic happened. You see? So already the video kind of felt like it was totally not almost like pertinent anymore. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, what I also noticed was because of the nature of the video, this is a fast-moving video covering all 50 states. You can't. Can you give some data behind that? Can you nope? On to the next. It almost
Holy
becomes
shit,
so,
this
so
dude,
quick
man.
you can't even I didn't even have time to react to what they were saying in the video before they were already on to the next state. And it's like, wait, I didn't even absorb what you just said about that state.
Yeah, that's
Now
why
you're
you
on
get
the
to
next.
rewind the
I think
video
that's
and
the
pause
danger of
it.
these videos where it's a countdown of all 50 states. It doesn't really work. That's too much information.
Too much
and
info,
no
man.
really elaboration on that information. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it works very well. So it's funny because when this channel went too much into detail about one particular topic, I kind of felt like it was boring. Then when the channel went too fast and didn't elaborate because they were so fast moving.
What react is this? Was this one to be
it was
public?
kind
I
of
don't want to
boring
watch it.
because you didn't really get your explanation for what they were saying.
It sounds
So it seemed
ridiculous.
like both kind of videos didn't really work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
But this is a private video.
This channel's very popular on YouTube and good for them, but for me, it just didn't seem very good.
Didn't
I
seem
don't
very
know.
good, man.
That's my take on it, and you can disagree, and that's fine. We all have different opinions. I just didn't really enjoy the.
Did they have like an
content. I didn't
argument
feel like
in DMs?
it was digestible enough for me.
Like you sent him the video, then he's like,
Too much
"Hey Phil,
information,
actually you're
too
wrong."
heavy information, too real, truthful, scientific information, like reading a textbook with one video, and the other video felt like fluff. There was no like in between balance. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
So there you go. Thank you, Slayer, for your questions.
Thank
I
you,
hope
Slayer.
like those answers. We're about to move on to member questions from people who are channel members of DSP Gaming. But before we do that, we have a celebratory bubble blow. for
Oh
hitting
my
100
god.
likes on today's Ask the King
This
stream. Thank you all for
chicanery?
that. Thank you all. Recently, I've
Thank
been
you
getting a lot
all.
more viewers on my stream.
A lot
And I don't know
of
if that's
viewers, man.
necessarily a sign that I'm growing. Thanks for the viewership. I appreciate the increase in views. Okay.
All right. Okay.
We got a couple other shout outs before we get to questions. There's a
Oh, yeah?
dollar tip here. From Colonel Sanders. Any new food you want to try from any restaurant? I'm not aware of. I don't follow fast food and stuff anymore, so I don't even know what's out there or new. You know, that's something I used to actively do for DSP Tries It, but I haven't done that in a very long time. You know, coming up, we're gonna have our Super Bowl event. I'm definitely gonna order some kind of pizza for that, but I don't know what. So I'll look into that when I get closer. But as of now, no. There's really no new food that's interesting me.
Oh
Okay.
my god. I kind of
I also have
lost patience with that
an
whole
incredibly
question.
generous
Holy shit, that was rough.
$40 tip
$40.
from 1 Minute Man. 1 Minute Man with a double
Whoa.
tip today. Thank you so much.
Whoa,
1 Minute
thank
Man.
you,
That is
sir.
very generous of you. I don't think anyone expected that. Right? 1 Minute Man always.
He always
gives
tips
you a $30
40
tip.
for Ask the
Or,
King.
excuse me, a $20 tip. Today, did a
That's like the
$40
only
tip.
time he
Thank
does
you, 1 Minute Man. That
$40.
is
The
very,
only
very nice of you.
time.
And with that, that gets us up to $96 in tips.
That's how typical 1 Minute
So
Man
4 more,
is.
and we hit the vest goal. You guys can vote on a vest for me to wear for the show.
It's
alright?
like the Jax Raxer of
Maybe you didn't see
tippers,
because
but
it's
like on
while at
like
work. Well,
but stronger.
you should probably be paying attention to your job so you don't lose it. But I hope that you're liking the show, JD. Thank you for the super chat.
Oh,
Okay.
thanks for the super
On to
chat.
the next question. We now get to members' questions. People who are channel members. All right.
Oh boy, I'm
Our
hyped.
first question comes from Dimitri. If you could play only one game for the rest of your life, what game do you think you would pick? None. Because I am
For
someone
me,
who gets
probably
entirely
I
bored
don't know.
of the same thing over and over.
No More
For
Heroes
example,
3. There
people
you
say,
go.
If you had one food
I don't-
that you'd say is your
I don't
absolute
know,
favorite food,
honestly.
you have it forever, what would it be? I don't have an answer. I'd probably get bored of any food if I had it infinitely. You know what I'm saying? I'm a guy who likes
I know there's a game I play
Therefore,
that would feel this
I can
way.
tell you genres. In genres, fighting games, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Platformers, Super Mario World. RPGs, top-down style, Legend of Zelda Link to the
Top-down.
Past. JRPG style, probably either Final Fantasy 4, 6, or Chrono Trigger, and I'd have to decide
Chrono
between the
Trigger,
three.
dude. I'm
Only
still
one
playing
game,
that
and
game.
That's a tough decision for me.
Someday I'll beat
And
it.
I keep going on. You know what I mean? Like, I keep telling you, oh, this is my favorite, this is my favorite. But I don't have one definitive game that I would play forever. I guarantee you I'd get bored of it if I only
Oh,
had
yeah?
one. There you go. Variety is the spice of life. Killings Pre 7 says, are there any content creators you're familiar with you would like to collaborate with in any way, or any favorites that you would just like to watch?
No.
What I would like to do, eventually, all right, is not collaborate gameplay-wise at all.
Oh, at all?
That's my answer.
Whoa.
I don't care about gameplay collaborations, right? I think that the whole collaborating and doing a playthrough collab or an online battle royale with a team is overrated. What I would like to do is eventually do some stuff. Maybe it could be a talk show. Maybe it could be interviews. Who knows? Where I interview other people on the internet, whether it's notable people, whether it's actual content creators, whatever it could be. I think that could be something interesting that I do.
Oh my god,
So
this
yes,
dude.
it's funny because everyone says, Phil, all the content you do is always you solo. It's always you solo talking to the camera. Are you ever going to do anything with anyone else? I would like to. And I have some ideas. Anything like that before, right? But basically...
Is it going to be a sub-goal? Is that what it's going
now,
to be?
I'm not ready to announce or say
I'll do an interview
but I would
with
eventually like, but it's not going to be
this
gameplay.
one guy.
I think that the gameplay shit, it's highly overrated. It's kind of, people tune into DSP Gaming to see me play games. They don't really care about me collabing with other people at this point.
Is-
It's been how many years?
Man, this sounds like
no
cope.
one cares. But the thing is, as I'm branching out and doing other content, all right, that's really where I think things could get interesting.
Oh,
all right.
okay.
As I
Yeah.
said, I'm getting older. As I get older, I'm not just going to be a full-time gamer 24/7 anymore. I'm going to branch out. I'm going to broaden my horizons. I'm going to do different things. And as I do those different things,
It's going to grow and
that's when
evolve.
Maybe I could start looking to do stuff with people outside of just me. Okay?
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Linuli.
But why would anyone have patience for
says,
this guy,
is it very
though?
likely that Pokemon Scar... Oh, it is...
He
very
dragged
likely
all
that
these
Pokemon
interviews
Scarlet
around
Violet
and then
in June
decided not
play
to
that
do it.
DLC. Will you do any unfinished posts?
Like, think about that, what that says. If he invites anyone else, you're gonna be like, well, why should we trust him? He's gonna, like, flake out.
The thing with DLCs is with me historically, okay? They're very hit or miss. And what I mean by that is there have been some games where DLCs have been very successful, such as the Fallout series, such as the Dark Souls / FromSoft games. Usually when I play those DLCs, they do well. But in general, most games that I've ever went back to play a DLC with
AJ
did
Kramer.
not work. I don't know what it is, but it just seems like that initial interest for a game goes away after you've beaten the main game, and there just aren't a lot of people who are willing to come back to see us do, say, a second dose of a very similar game or the same game. Case in point, Ghost of Tsushima was one of my biggest playthroughs of 2021. Was it 2021? And the DLC came out the next year in the summer, and I was stoked for it. I boot the sucker up. No one showed up. Everyone's saying, "Oh, it's just the same as the original
Same
game." I was
game.
like, "What were
Same
you
game,
expecting?
dude.
I was gonna have guns flying through space. It's Ghost of Tsushima. You know, it's just more of the same, and I loved that game. And people just didn't really show up for the DLC. They just were not very excited for it. For whatever reason.
You can't control
So,
people, man.
I feel like that's kind of a pattern with me. Now, sometimes I've played Pokemon DLCs and they
Okay.
work. For example, when I played Pokemon Sword and Shield, and then later on there were 2 different story expansions that happened that next year. I played them both, and they both seemed to work. So maybe if there is a major expansion for Pokemon and you guys have interest, maybe I will play it. It's up to you, really. I would leave the ball in your court to determine if you want to see me do it or not, okay?
Okay.
Fair enough. So, thank you. For
Sorry,
the
excuse me.
suggestion. We'll see what happens. But for me, I'm not committing to anything like that. Okay?
Okay.
Pila asks, how are you avoiding game spoilers? The games that I want to play today always get ruined for me due to spoilers. Okay? Now, here's the thing. All right? In truth,
It's just
I don't
hard to
feel
avoid, man.
there is any 100% way.
What kind of question is
avoid
this?
spoilers on the
In the
internet.
current
I
year?
don't think there's a foolproof way.
How do you avoid
Okay.
spoilers?
Just being honest, okay? I don't think so. I don't think it's possible to insulate yourself unless you're living in a bunker underground and you have no internet connection, right? And you have no contact with anyone. How are you going to fully avoid spoilers? I don't think it's possible. Okay.
Well, I managed to avoid a lot of spoilers in my time, dude.
You're going to get spoiled on a major game coming out. Okay.
It just
But
happens.
there's several things we have in place to try to prevent it. All right. First of all,
Okay.
do I have a social media? Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
But my social media is used for business purposes. And what I mean by that is, do I follow game topics? I do, but I follow the major trends. I'm not following a lot of people who sit around and just talk about games they're playing. I'm following more professional sources, right?
Like who?
I'm following the feeds that are more the mainstream
Who?
gaming media.
Who are these people?
Other trusted people who are independent journalists who don't necessarily post up big ass spoilers and annoying things. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
Basically, I'm not, I don't follow 20, 30, 40 people on Twitter who are going to sit there and say, yo, what about that twist in God of War when this happened? Like, no, I'm not. That would be really stupid. And I think
This
thing
dude is so negative. Why?
because I keep my social media professional, because I'm not following a bunch of my real life friends on there, right? Because I'm not in a situation where I'm exposed to that kind of discussion, I basically avoid it. That's a good thing. There's a lot of people who said they were spoiled on a lot of the twists and things in games recently. I was not spoiled because I don't follow those circles. I only use it for professional purposes. You know, when I open Twitter, I'm looking for professional, official news stories and postings and game reviews and things like that. I'm not looking at.
He's just reading Twitter headlines. That's all he's reading.
Spoiling everything.
Just
Now, here's the
Twitter
thing.
headlines.
It's not foolproof. When you're on a stream, at any moment, some dickhead could come in here and try to spoil a game. What I do in general, I have a rule of thumb where there's people who try to spoil shit for me, and if I'm reading something and all of a sudden there's a giant paragraph out of nowhere, I kind of tend to know that probably that's
Sorry,
because they're
excuse me.
probably posting up a bunch of shit.
This is
Right?
ridiculous.
Take a look at all the chat right now.
Look at the
There's just
chat.
a bunch of people saying a little phrases here or there, and that's fine. That's exactly what you expect in a live stream chat.
What the
If all of a sudden there's a giant fucking paragraph in the chat, probably it's bullshit. Something you don't want to look at. For good reason, right? We got mods that help. They do their best to try to stop spoilers.
I don't know. They
Those
don't do a
the
good
game
job, man.
Spoilers in general, what's really funny about them is a lot of them aren't necessarily true because games are an interactive medium. I'm going to give you an example of the
Oh my
biggest
God.
game spoiler I ever got that ended up not being true. Okay? So when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, I want to say it was probably the second stream I had ever done of the game. We had a group of trolls coming into the chat, and they were spamming, so-and-so dies at the end. And I can't remember who it was. Was it Mike? Who's the main characters? There's
Who's the main
Trevor.
character?
Is it Mike? I can't even remember the names of the characters anymore in that game. But basically they were saying this one particular Michael, right?
Michael.
They were saying Michael dies at the end. And they were spamming this in the chat to try to ruin it. And everyone in the chat was so upset. It's Michael, Trevor, and Franklin. Thank you, literally. I forgot all their names. I only remember
Okay.
Trevor 'cause he's the nut job, right?
Right?
So
Yeah.
basically, everyone got pissed, right?
Okay,
like,
yeah.
oh man,
We were at that point
we really didn't
for like
wanna
a
have this
minute.
plot spoil. This was going to be an ongoing playthrough that was probably
Holy
gonna be one of my
shit.
biggest, most epic ones I'd ever done. When I was playing it, I was getting like 1,000 viewers a stream. It was crazy, right? And
Right?
then basically, we're like, the whole plot just got ruined. And I said to everyone, I said,
Listen.
do me a favor. Don't believe it. Because even if it's true, we've got a giant journey to go through to determine how it's even going to happen. What's more important is the story up to that point. Not the
It makes it
resolution,
sound
no,
like a noble journey. Oh, guys, hang in there. We're gonna make it. Let's keep walking. Like, what the fuck?
But what happens in between? Bear with me. Let's
Bear
see
with
how
me,
this game
guys.
ends for real. And if that happens, it happens. We got spoiled. Big deal. But let's enjoy the journey. And it took me like a long time to beat the game, probably a couple weeks or whatever. And finally, when we get to the end, guess what happened? Michael's fucking didn't die. It was bullshit. Basically, these idiots came in because there's multiple endings. So they
Okay,
gave you
I was about to
one
say, if you
shot
didn't know about the
before
multiple
anything
endings
happened.
thing, that'd be
Yeah,
silly.
Any of the three main characters can die in that game, and any of them can survive based on your choices in the game.
I think Trevor
it was a
dying is
dumb
the best
spoiler,
ending.
right? It was completely
Honestly.
pointless. And that's what I mean. Like, that
For
was
real.
probably the biggest spoiler for me that ever happened, and it didn't really matter. So now, whenever a spoiler comes in or whatever, I don't believe it. I'm like, you know what? Half
You
the
know
time
what?
you're getting half information. You're getting one piece that doesn't make sense until you play the whole game. You won't even understand said spoiler, right? There are situations that are exceptions to that. I mean, look
Like
at
what?
Last of Us 2.
Oh
And
my
how
god.
badly The Last of Us 2 got spoiled on the internet, right? Like,
Right?
everyone knew. Everyone knew what the plot of the game was going to be, and that's why everyone was so pissy about the game when it came out. I don't know how these companies are having all this shit leak so early, except that they're basically giving their early copies to the wrong people. They really are.
How does he know that?
You know?
How does he
that
know?
is the double-edged sword of giving out early review copies. If it's not in the right hands, you could have someone who's completely irresponsible and then leaks the whole major plot of your story, and the next thing you know, your whole game's spoiled. And that's terrible, you know?
Terrible, man.
I don't want to be spoiled on games at all. I don't want to know anything ahead of time. Like I've told you guys, one of the things that I love the most about games.
But
is
dude,
that I
there's so
don't
many videos of
spoil
him
myself.
telling,
And the
giving us
game's coming out.
countdowns of the game.
Oh, I'll
Guys,
give you a
there's like
perfect
20
example on
hours
this.
left.
Hogwarts
Yes, we're gonna
Legacy,
beat it in 20
alright?
hours.
I've been following Hogwarts Legacy for a couple of years. I know it exists. I know basically the basics of what you can do in the game. I have not followed any of the recent information about the game. I'm actually committing a blackout for myself.
Dude,
Why? Because I don't want to be spoiled.
no, he's making a blackout for Hogwarts Legacy probably just to avoid the hot takes
I
that's
play the
going on.
game. I want to be delighted at the interesting gameplay elements and the fun things that are in the game. I don't want to boot the game up already knowing everything that's in it and having a checklist and saying, when is this thing that was promised going to happen? Is it here? Not yet. Okay, what about, here's this one. Check that one off. Where's this one? That's not fun. That's not fun at all. You want to be able to play a game and enjoy it and discover it at face value. Not having preconceived notions of what's in it, what's expected of it. And if you're sitting there and you're watching,
But this dude
20
cries
minutes
about
gameplay
games
blow
that are
up,
not what they
you know,
expected.
1
This
hour
game isn't as good as I
development
expected.
interview
They told us
talking about
this, and
all
it's
the
not
aspects
that.
of the game. Why are you doing that? Right?
Why?
Why are you spoiling the game for yourself? Why are you researching everything about that game?
Why,
before it's out?
stupid?
So now when it comes out, why are you even? How could you even enjoy it? You know what I'm saying? That really gets to me. And then there's some games that really get me. I start playing it, and the game has a bad tutorial, so you don't understand the elements, and everyone yells at me, "Oh, well, why didn't you look up the game before it came out to know how to play it?" Like, what?
What?
Why didn't I look up the game before it came out to know how to play it? Do you even understand the purpose of a video game? The purpose of a video game is supposed to be a creative medium to portray something artistic and some level of entertainment factor. If I
Maybe they're
take
saying to
hours
watch
of
it in the
research
present
and
day,
enjoy
not like,
something,
oh, you should have
then
been
it's
watching
not
it
the kind of entertainment
before.
I'm looking for, you know? So that's what I mean.
Whatever.
Like, I want to stay oblivious to what's going to happen, because if you do, then you can actually get those genuine moments of wonder and joy and shock and surprise and, whoa, I didn't know that was in the game. Wow, that's
Whoa.
cool. I didn't know that was going to happen. Wow, what a twist in the plot. If you do all this preconceived for themselves these days, and I don't know why they do that. I think the modern gamer
Oh my
today is
God.
a lot different than who I was growing up, you know? I don't want to know every aspect of everything. I try to avoid. And again, I do my best, but you can't always avoid spoilers. But you do your best, right?
Right?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, fair enough.
All right, fair enough.
Let's continue on. Our next question here. By the way, we're about a half an hour in. Cool. We still got about another half an hour before I have to take a break. Sounds good to me. Our next question is from another channel member by the name of 1 Minute Sam.
Dude, these Q&As.
And they said the following. I have got a question for you.
Oh, yeah?
Hold on, because I have to ban an idiot.
Oh, 10 ban an idiot.
Okay. I'm glad you have a question, 1 Minute Sam, because that's what the show is for.
Yeah, a lot of suspicious playthroughs where he took a break, came back, bodied the boss he was stuck on. So,
thought of
you
a
know.
different way in which that you can structure your streams. I understand you're a variety streamer, but I do think that you could still be considered a variety streamer while playing more of a game if it's played in a shorter time frame. Excuse me. I'm just thinking of your Game of the Year Awards winner, God of War Ragnarok, as an example. That is a brilliant game, no doubt, but I felt disinterested in it due to the playthrough dragging on over 2 months after its release. Yeah, here's the thing.
What?
All right?
But how is he going to change that, though?
Is a double-edged sword. For sure. All right?
Whatever.
Because here's the positives and negatives. There's one really humongous, overpowering positive, and then there's a couple of negatives. All right? The overpowering positive is that being a variety content creator, you will entertain a wide audience, you will retain a wide audience, and you will have people coming in from all walks of life, all over the world, to enjoy and support your content. All right? As they say, I'm a jack of all trades. You can come to DSP Gaming right now for Ask the King, tonight for Warzone Battle Royale, tomorrow all day for Survival Horror, Saturday for a JRPG, and then a Western RPG in Oblivion, and then we do it all again on Sunday. We go back to, you know, resetting everything again. Do you see what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
So, it's kind of interesting, right? It is kind of interesting. Being that. And the thing is, I honestly feel
my God, come
like many
on.
years ago, if I had not decided to be a variety content creator, if I decided I'm going to focus in on a certain genre, a certain type of game, a certain focus, I would not be here today. I firmly believe, still here. I'm tiny now. I'm not some big...
Oh my God.
While all my contemporaries from 15 years ago, a certain type of game, a certain focus, I would not be here today. I firmly believe that I would have become a relic of the past. While all my contemporaries from 15 years ago have seemed to have faded into obscurity, no one talks about them anymore in many cases, I'm still here.
Like who?
I'm tiny now. I'm not some...
But like PewDiePie's still here. Markiplier's still around. Like, who are these people that went away?
Big shot anymore.
Whatever.
I'm able to have a viewership, a supportive viewership, by the way, and I'm able to make a living and have a good time putting out the content that I want to put out. And that's a unique thing in the modern day. You know?
Oh, yeah?
Why?
You know?
Because of variety. If I decided to be the Street Fighter 4 player, if I decided to be the survival horror guy, if I decided I was just going to play open RPGs, you know what I'm saying? If I become an expert or one little thing, that would have kind of...
Oh yeah, I heard about that. The June the King documentaries he wants to go to. Toby Turner, Pro Jared, and Team Awesome. No, Awesome Channel.
Being a variety content creator, okay? First of all, when you're a variety content creator, you're a jack of all trades, but a master. That have happened is there's certain things over the years that I feel, the stuff that I do, you're not getting people from the fighting game community coming to watch Darkside Phil play Street Fighter. In fact, I would argue the vast majority of people who watch me play fighting games are non-FGC viewers.
How does he know this?
FGC, they're pretty much oblivious to that. They just like watching me do a fighting game for variety. I lost that audience because I had it once. When Street Fighter 4 came out, I was huge for Street Fighter 4. And I lost that over time being a variety content creator. All right? The other thing is, because I'm a variety content creator, when it comes to a point when there's a giant game, right? Here comes...
No, like I says, he retired Street Fighter 4 to become a variety streamer or whatever. He brought up, like... Oh, I stopped playing Street Fighter 4 because I didn't like it and shit like that. He was started saying like some negatives about Street Fighter 4. But now it's like, oh, it's because I wanted to be a variety man.
Here comes God of War. Here comes a new Grand Theft Auto. Here comes a new ultimately hyped game that everyone wants to see me play. Right?
Right. Correct.
Well, guess what happens? I'll play it, but I have to balance it with other games. Because I recognize that I have an audience that likes variety. They're not here just to watch the one game. And if I decide, oh, I want to get so far in this one game that I'm just going to sit here and play it almost nonstop for weeks on end. I will dramatically lose my audience. Do you understand? I will. I know I will. For example, tomorrow is Dead Space Remake. I'm going to play Dead Space Remake all day long tomorrow. But then immediately on Saturday, I have to mix it up. If I did 3 to 4 streams in a row, we would absolutely lose that viewership. People would, oh my God, I wanted Elder Scrolls. Man, where's the continuation of One Piece? Why is he not doing Warzone? I love Warzone. You know, people are here for various different reasons. And I can't make everyone happy all of the time, but I can do my best to make people happy in pieces over time. You see what I'm saying?
It's okay.
Now, when it comes to a game like God of War Ragnarok, it's kind of like you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
Okay, let's
take a look at Elden Ring. Elden Ring.
This is rough.
I
This
played
Q&A,
one-shot
man.
a day or two, and then I actually kept it some weeks as the mainstream every single day. All right? In that case, were we able to attain some viewership and support every day? We were, but it dramatically
Because it's Elden Ring.
You know? And then I had to say, okay, Elden
he
Ring's
even brings up that Elden Ring that actually gives them all this money, and now he's saying, oh, it doesn't always.
Every day. We have to balance this with other games and other things that you guys want. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the thing. Like, being a variety content creator, I can't do what a lot of other content creators do. I'm well aware that a lot of other creators will get a game that's a big-ass AAA game, and they'll just sit there and they'll play that game endlessly for 2-3 weeks till they beat it, right? A game like God of War that was 60 hours, a game like Elden Ring over 100 hours, they sit there and they just play it non-stop. That would actually isolate and annoy a giant chunk of my audience.
Dude, this is ridiculous.
And listen, I get it, because in the case, play more God of War Ragnarok at some points. There were days, sometimes 2-3 days before I got to play it again.
Oh my God.
But at the same time, I don't really have that flexibility to say, I'm putting my foot down just to play the same game for 3 weeks to beat it. Then that will be the end of my viewership. People will leave in droves and say, sayonara, play what you want, but we're going to come back when you decide to do variety again. You know? That's the nature of the beast, okay? And you might say, well, what can you do to fix that? The only thing I can do to fix that is try to balance it a little better. With God of War, originally I did play it more, and then when immediately within 2-3 days the viewership tapered off, people were like, we want other stuff. I mixed it. I listened to your feedback. Ultimately, the only way to do it is to listen to feedback. And as many people that were upset that it took me so long to beat God of War, there were an equal amount of people that definitely would have not been here if I just played God of War. You see, there's no real, oh, here's the golden solution or the golden balance to anything. All I can do is always play it by ear, try to take in your feedback.
Yeah, that's like running a business, taking risks.
Your own designs and your own.
Like, look how much he wants to potentially milk his audience. He doesn't want to try anything new because he knows if I do this more, they're gonna love it. Kind of mentality.
That's all I can do. And hopefully over the years I've gotten better at that. You know, there was a time many years ago when I would take on so many games at once, I'd play it like once a week. How on earth am I supposed to make any kind of progress in a game when I'm playing it for 3 to 4 hours a week only? That will take months to beat. That was the Dragon Age Inquisition problem, where I had Dragon Age Inquisition and like 7 other games I was playing, and none of them got finished for 2-3 months. By the time that was done, everyone was pissed. Like literally every person, you know? So all I could do is do my best to balance it out, and also to taper off expectations. When I started playing God of War Ragnarok, I fully made it unknown to everyone. It's going to take me forever to beat this game. It's so long, and there's so much else going on at this time of year that you guys want to see. I have to balance, and therefore it will take a while. Please be patient. And in general, people were, and I was very pleased that people were as patient as they were, okay? So there's no definitive answer here. I wish there was 1 minute, Sam. There just isn't. You know what I'm saying? I wish that there wasn't, here's the end-all answer for everything, right? Now, by the way. I think 1 minute Sam had continued on. Let's see what else they had to say. I feel like this is something that certainly will affect negatively the way in which your streams are supported and potentially even your channel growth. I feel a shorter time frame for games and more of a gameplay within that time frame is better for engagement. Support for those games would be more consistent, and more importantly, a backlog of games doesn't occur where games are finally getting played. Only they came out a week or 2 ago, and they're going to take weeks or months to finish, and creates a cycle. I appreciate the change in direction of your channel. Keep up the great work, Phil. So again,
Good job,
that
Phil.
pretty much. I didn't read his whole question, which is kind of my bad.
You didn't read the whole
This is
thing?
what he's saying. I agree with.
Okay.
I just wish that there is no solution for a lot of these games. You know, I do my best to. I would have played more God of War probably that first week if more people had attended, more people had said they wanted more of it. But actually, what happened was the attention had dipped off. So if attention is dipping off on a major playthrough and people want variety, I'm going to give them the variety they want. You know, Elden Ring did actually retain pretty good viewership and support for about a month, and after the month, then it died. And then I started balancing it with other stuff because definitely the support was going woo. And people were telling me they were bored of it, which I don't blame them because you get to that second half of the game, you've pretty much seen the whole game already, besides the final bosses.
Okay.
So
What is the point of this?
Anyway, thank you, 1 Minute Sam, for the question. I hope that, I wish I had a better answer for you. Like, oh yeah, this is how I'll tackle it in the future. Really, it's a play it by your attitude.
Okay.
Judge from your audience what they want. If they're loving a game, play more of it. If they don't, play less of it, right? What can you do?
What can you do, man?
All right, I received a $4 tip.
Oh, $4. Put on the vest.
Alex, I hope my tips are going through now. This one has, Alex. Yes, so thank you, Alex, for a $4
Thank you, Alex.
tip. And with that tip, we have hit our $100 tips goal for the stream today. Let's do a poll. Is cute. There we go.
There we go.
Purple Pickle Yum Yum did a super chat. Howdy McCree Yeehaw. I think I'm far from any kind of Overwatch character, but thank you very much. Purple Pickle Yum Yum for the super chat. Okay. Let's continue. We still have a ways to go before the break. About another 15 minutes. Cool.
Cool.
Our next question is from Guitar Player 1939. He says, I started playing Persona 5 recently, and I'm really enjoying it,
this
but,
question.
I just don't like the school/life simulator part of the game. What's your opinion on games that take it this route? Well, here's the thing.
We
have plenty of games out there that go the more...
If you want to play Persona that doesn't have the fucking school segments, there's a game called Shin Megami Tensei. I recommend playing that.
When I say fantasy, I really feel like there's two realms of fantasy that RPGs technically usually go in. One side of the equation, it'll go towards typical fantasy-style medieval dragons and swords and magic, and we have 5 zillion RPGs that play just like that.
Oh, yeah?
Correct? And then I would say the other direction that they tend to go is more futuristic. Oh, it's sci-fi with aliens and technology and spaceships and laser guns and things like that. So those are really the two fantasy directions, right? More old school medieval, more futuristic sci-fi. The Persona series says, to hell with all of that nonsense. That's all sucks. How dare you even do that stuff? It's so cliche and trite. Instead, we're going to do today.
No, SMT did that.
This fantasy game is set in the present day. Real people from Japan. Real life.
Oh my
right?
god.
How an actual
It's
teenager
this
growing up
side of
would
it.
experience life, going to school, having relationships with other teenagers as well as adults. It's
No,
kind of unique.
see, now look at this. DSP's like, oh, you could do this relationship stuff and all this. He doesn't like that in video games. Okay.
Social links and things you do in the Persona franchise are how you have a relationship with an adult as opposed to other teenagers, right? It's kind of unique with other teenagers as well as adults. It's kind of unique with some of the social links and things you do in the Persona franchise are how you have a relationship with an adult as opposed to with other teenagers. Right?
This sounds... That out of context sounds so bad. Holy shit. It sounds so bad out of context.
It's kind of unique in that.
Holy shit.
I think it kind of started in the 1990s if you think back.
God damn, DSP.
Started off having that more modern take.
I know what he means, but man, imagine you never play Persona and you hear that.
There's a lot of comedy in it. And having a lot more of that drama aspect, right? So if you like the idea of almost a Japanese youth, life simulator, you get that, but you also get your turn-based fantasy-style JRPG combat mixed in there as well, right? Now, if that's not your cup of tea and you don't like that, there's tons of other RPGs out there for you. The thing is, they're going to be more main in line with what you would expect of medieval fantasy or sci-fi fantasy, and you don't really see that people dabble too much farther outside of those realms, right? especially when it comes to JRPGs, because JRPGs usually tend to fall into certain archetypes for how the games are played, with the combat styles and magic and or that kind of stuff. The other game franchise that I would say recently that did this, but did not do it with kids, Yakuza. Yakuza Like a Dragon. That's all adults, but it's turn-based RPG. It's based in Japan. If you don't want the teen angst drama, but you still want a lot of cool plot lines and stuff, that's probably the game you want to go for then. Okay? So that's my recommendation in Guitar Player. I hope
or play SMT.
Despite the fact that those kids can be darned angsty at times. Okay?
Darn angsty teens.
Our next question is from John Smith. What a unique name. Thank you, John, for the question. He says, it concerns the approach to game design. I've recently been playing through Zelda games, and I took note of the Nintendo's insistence on pushing the series forward with new and unexplored features. My question is as follows. What does being inventive and trying to push a series forward cross over? When does being inventive and trying to push a series forward cross over into being somewhat gimmicky? And as an addendum, in your opinion, what is the right approach to being inventive and are pushing a series forward? Should a game completely reinvent itself with every?
I feel like the gimmicky stuff, it really feels in how the execution of the gameplay.
Zelda is a great series to ask this question on, because it does feel
that's
like
really all that matters.
Different generations of Zelda, that it keeps trying to reinvent itself in different ways. The original Zelda was a top-down adventure game with RPG elements. The sequel was a side-scrolling action game with RPG elements. They feel completely different. Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 don't even feel like you're playing the same game, right?
Right.
But after Zelda 2 being an experiment, I guess Nintendo felt like it kind of failed, because then for Zelda Link to the Past, they went back to the top down, back to that kind of formula. But what they did is they advanced the engine. They now have better graphics, more interesting puzzles, and aspects to the gameplay that weren't part of the original Zelda game. Almost as if they had undone the changes they had done in Zelda 2 to go back to its roots, hence Link to the Past, but also advance it with better graphics, better music, and interesting...
Dude, this sounds like you read someone's Wikipedia article.
Then all of a sudden the N64 comes out, like, oh my god, it doesn't even feel like Zelda anymore. For people who had played the previous Zelda games, Zelda 64...
Oh my god.
Really
and that's not the name of the game.
Some of the enemy types. Outside of that, it's a totally new franchise. And that's what I didn't like about Zelda 64, was I loved Link to the Past, and when I was playing Zelda 64 on N64, I was like, this doesn't feel
Zelda 64 on Nintendo 64.
It feels so dramatically different that I don't even know if you could call it Zelda. But of course, what ended up happening...
He has said Nintendo lost their way so many times throughout his career, but he loves Nintendo.
Game, and people loved it, and that became the new standard for what Zelda was. Right? Now take a look at Majora's Mask.
It's funny they criticized Zelda for Ocarina of Time, but now he loves that style.
Manipulation time loop mechanic. A game that's more based on puzzles and math than actual,
Kind of sounds like it was a fake fan, TBH.
Although combat is a big part of it. It's unique again, right? Another unique take on it. And then they just kept doing this. Wind Waker's different.
Yeah, Wind Waker's the best
Skyward
one.
Sword is different. Twilight Princess is different. Each one pushed forward something new and interesting. However, yes, I called it Zelda 64 instead of Ocarina of Time because even though it's Killer Instinct 2 or Killer Instinct Gold, Mortal Kombat 64, it was actually MK Ultimate, but everyone called it everything 64 back then. So I call them all 64 because I cannot grow. I have to say I have 64.
Okay.
Anyway.
I'm a boomer.
The one that I think they went too far was definitely Skyward Sword. And if you watch my playthrough of it from back in the day, I strongly criticize Skyward Sword. Why?
This is also
they turned it
clown
into a motion control gimmick. And here's the thing.
There's a lot that was wrong with that game, by the way. It's not just the gameplay.
Turn Zelda from top down to 2D side scrolling. Okay? Turn Zelda from top down to a 3D open world. Turn it from 3D open world to masks with puzzles. Now you have an exploration mechanic where everything's water. Turn it into, you know what I mean? I can keep going on with all the gimmicks of the Zelda franchise over the years.
Water is gimmicks.
The one that stands out to me that did not work was the motion controls. I can tell you definitively, Skyward Sword is a better game without the motion controls. Because I played the one without the motion controls.
And he didn't beat it.
A lot better. I was actually...
And I disagree. The enemies still are designed to be hit a certain way. And some of those angles are way harder when you're using standard mode. It's not a good substitute, to be honest.
accurately control my combat, being able to roll the bombs the way that you want to solve the puzzles. It is so much better. That whole motion control gimmick of the Wii era was literally that. It was, let's cash in on something because people who don't usually play these games are now playing them. Let's try to get them hooked, right? And I don't think it worked because if Miyamoto himself is on stage at E3 and he can't play the game, then how do you expect me to play, right? I hated the motion controls of Skyward Sword. It was the one thing I didn't like about
there
it.
was like a lot of like interference with the stage though. Come on.
Everything else about the game I thought was great. It's the stupid motion controls. They really misstepped there with that one. All right? And that's where it goes from innovation to gimmick, right? It really is. You know, Breath of the Wild, my God, changes a lot about Zelda. Number one, having a huge open world that was 3D with exploration and traversal and all of that. I mean, yes, they had done that previously in games like the old Zeldas, where you had an open world, right? But that was top down. This is like full 3D, platforming, parkour, and everything. It was a different take on Zelda. And in addition to the combat being so different, right? The dungeons...
I kind of get what he means when he says parkour.
These dungeons, but instead kind of like puzzles that led to boss fights. You know, there's a lot they changed in Breath of the Wild, but it worked because it kind of appealed to what a modern gamer was looking for. Things that had already worked in other game franchises, finally modernizing Zelda to make it feel like Nintendo said, we want to catch up with other games. That was a good thing, you know? You don't always want to be so unique and out there, weirdo in a different direction, that now people lose touch with your game franchise and don't even want to play it anymore because they feel it's annoying. And maybe that's what's happening with Zelda to some extent, right? I don't know, but I'm happy that they kind of went in that direction. I'm actually excited to see what they do with this follow-up now. What's it called? Tears of...
Oh, this segment's rough.
On Switch. What do with Tears? Kingdom is sad now. What happened?
What happened?
Or maybe
you don't have a king.
Tears of joy. That finally there's a new Zelda game. Oh yes, it's the stream. Oh, Tears of the Kingdom? Seriously? I thought it was Tears of the Kingdom. It's
really?
Tears of the Kingdom?
Tears?
It is?
Oh my god, I can't believe you believe that. He fell for that.
What tour? No, they confirmed it's tear like crying. They did confirm that. Okay. So the whole game, there's going to be a giant pool of salty tears. Everyone's crying.
Okay.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out.
Do we have time for one more? I guess we have... Actually, people want the Marty McFly vest today. I ran my foot into my table. Oh! Okay, with this vest, it would be the full ensemble. All right.
So you won't wear the glasses. Because, dude, right. The glare.
One final question, and then we'll go on a break. This question is from Golden Colt's Backup. Actually, you know what? We have two questions because they're completely related. We'll ask them back to back, and then we'll go on break.
Okay.
The first question is from Golden Colt's Backup. What happened to Golden Colt's? What happened to your first account? Why do you have a backup?
Uh-oh.
It's confusing. Anyway, Golden Colt's Backup asks, do you have a guilty pleasure game you enjoy, even though the majority of people do not like it, but you personally enjoy it? Yes. Gotcha games. I love spending my entire life on gotcha games. Every day, I'm clicking, I'm pulling, I can't wait for the big win, and there goes my livelihood. And there goes my livelihood. I know what you are! Obviously, I'm being stupid there with the dumb detractor means. No. It's funny, because in reality, when you think about the games that I play today, I don't really have time to play that much anymore. I just do everything on stream, right? I tell you guys, I don't play games.
I don't play games.
You know, I spend so much time in this office playing games that I don't feel that I want to play games outside of this office. I'm being honest. Like, I love games. It's my hobby as well as my job, but I feel like if I'm going to play games, I'd like to share them with you guys. I don't feel the need to play games outside of this room to experience fun. Like, I actually feel like I want to do other stuff. If I'm not here, I want to have some good food with my wife. I want to watch a television show or watch her play a game or watch someone else play a game. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
Like, the last thing I want to do if I'm sitting here playing games all day is leave and go play more games. That's, you know, I like, again, I'm the kind of guy that likes variety.
But you're watching Cat play games,
so
though, isn't that whatever?
Game, honestly, no, not really. I don't feel that there's like a guilty pleasure game for me. because I don't think I don't play games outside of what I do on stream. And what would you?
But it could be the guilty pleasure could be whatever game you played in the past that you cringed at or whatever. You know, like whatever.
That I go and play Super Turbo every once in a while. I love Street Fighter. I want to play old school Street Fighter. Is that really a guilty pleasure? I'm not guilty. I don't feel guilty for playing the classics. You know. So no, I don't think I have a guilty.
My guilty pleasure is the Guilty Gear Strive,
Maybe if
dude.
there was one game that only I liked and I demanded you guys watch me play it, but no, I don't really feel that there's a game out there that's not liked that I just like keep playing over and over and over. No, I don't think so. All right. Now to follow up on that question, Steak Sandwich asked a question.
Steak Sandwich?
Are there any movies or TV shows you really like that are guilty pleasures? Shameful to admit you like it. If so, what movie or show? What I've said is I think there's a series of movies out there.
For me, I guess my guilty pleasure for like shows would kind of be Kikagiri, but you know,
so for example,
it's also a show I like.
Super Mario
so.
Brothers live action movie from the 1990s, and now the funny part is I have to start saying that because in a few months they're actually from the 1990s movie. Is because it is so bad, it is so completely not in the spirit of what the game is. It is so off base. It is like, here's an example of how you can take an idea and give it to Hollywood and see how Hollywood can completely and utterly destroy that idea, right?
Right.
Change it into something completely different, right?
They did that with the
animated
movie now.
It's bad. It's a bad movie, but it has so many cringe moments. It has so many weird moments and lines. It's still good. You can still enjoy it at face value for watching such an oddity. I remember going to the movie theater with my dad and seeing it live because we paid to see this in the theaters and walking on looking at each other like, what did we just see? You know, my dad knew what Super Mario Brothers was. He'd watch me play it. He's like, what was that? I don't know. I really don't know. You could have called that anything else. I really didn't have anything to do with Super Mario Brothers, right?
Hey, the main character named Mario.
Everyone do the dinosaur. And I think it would have been more accurate to what the game was. Or what the movie was, excuse me. You know? So, anyway, that's one. The other one is definitely the Street Fighter movie. Okay? The Street Fighter movie that came out in the 1990s starring Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Okay.
Again, a movie that really does not touch upon the spirit of what the games were. But a movie that tried to some extent. Failed miserably, but at least it tried.
At least it tried.
It's just another so bad it's good movie. Where the lines are terrible, the acting is terrible, the action is quite terrible.
Terrible. But I think about that sometimes when
I love that.
He says stuff's terrible. I think of that clip.
Bad movie. But I watch it and I smile.
Classic DSP rage at a movie.
It's a that whole Super Mario Brothers Street Fighter era was such a unique era because video games were starting to become very popular and profitable, but no one actually knew how to convert that into other forms of media. Today, we've got examples like this Last of Us TV show. We've got successful movies like the Sonic movies. We're about to have a Super Mario movie where it looks like these things will cross over successfully. And now, video games have become mainstream media. But back then, seriously, it was so different. These millions of dollars wasted on this stuff. And then to go back and watch it today and be like, holy crap, this is what I watched it when I was a kid, right? Pretty insane. Anyway, those would be my guilty pleasure movies, I would say. Okay? Some super chats have come in. Purple Pickle Yum Yum with another super chat talking about wings. I have nothing to do with him.
Nothing to do with the wings.
Staring at the wall did a super chat. Would you revisit Dark Souls 1 eventually? Yes, I would at some point. Purple Pickle Yum Yum does another super chat. Can you have to stay longer if we donate? I mean, I shout out donations, so technically yes, but I could just choose to answer or shout these out after a break. Speaking of which, guess what? It's time for a break. So thank you all for watching part 1 of Ask the King. I think today we will only do one break.
Okay. Holy shit, what's going on here?
Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what people are talking about. Let's get started.
Let's get started.
What's going on here? People are being ridiculous. I've had enough. Oh, the original. Current. A lot. What settings do we have here? Graphics. Brightness. Performance. Everyone always complains things. Audio. Wider a little bit. Exclusivity. Right. It's time. It's not to the Aegis system. Now,
Wait a sec.
if it is, if motion blurs. It's Necromo Aegis system.
Whatever, fuck it.
We're going to a mining vessel, Ishimura.
Let's see, how is the tips doing now? Oh my god. I hate when YouTube does this.
Oh shit, I missed.
$67. Whoa, man. Alright. Let's see. Do I want to do the other one? I'll do a little bit of this. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see how long is it? An hour? Damn, I don't know. I don't know if I should do it. Yeah, you know, I'll do it. Fuck it. I can always stop whenever if I need to.
Chance, okay? If you're a patron of mine,
This is rough.
patreon.com/darksidephil, you get a question and answer, okay? Hypothetically speaking, if you had the chance to... Oh, wait, there's two questions. Hold on a second. There's two completely different questions.
Oh my god.
Let me answer the first question.
Whoa, two questions.
When will Level 1 Podcast feature its first guest? To be honest, I did actually invite a couple people to the Level 1 Podcast in the last year, and they declined.
Ooh, they declined.
I'm just going to tell you, there actually were a couple people at times during the year I was interested having on the show.
You know what?
They declined or they did not respond.
He says this. Dude, I got a theory. What if, right? He starts putting out feelers for an interview. Like, he's like, I want to do an interview during the whole section. And it's all these people emailing him, like, interest. I bet you he's going to use that as leverage. He's going to tell these other people to come on his show. It's like, well, look, this YouTuber wanted me on his show. That's why he, like, turned him down and baited it. I guarantee that's what he's doing. He's going to use it to somehow, like, show to the other people at some point that people were, like, interested. You know what I mean?
Okay. However, at this point, I feel like the Level 1 Podcast is essentially the show where I just talk direct to you guys rather than someone else. I am interested in the future in possibly doing things with other people. For example, maybe an interview. Okay, maybe, and not me. I'm talking about me interviewing other people, not me getting an interview of me, but me actually interviewing others. Okay, I'm interested in that. So I will have an idea or more on that in the future. It is something that I am interested in, and when I have more information on that, I will let you all know. Okay, but basically, if I have a guest, it would not be on the Level 1 Podcast. It would be something different. Okay.
Okay.
Now, his second question. Hypothetically speaking, listen to this one.
Listen to this one. Listen to
If
this.
you had the chance to DDoS Twitch's entire website undetected and cause permanent, irreversible damage for screwing you over unfairly with your partnership ban, what would you do?
What a great question.
First of all, I was not banned from having a Twitch partnership. I was forcefully removed for the time period of 1 year. And then they told me at that time if I wished to reapply, I could. So essentially what they were saying was, we want you out of the partnership program right now, but you could try again in a year, which doesn't make sense because they never explained to me what I did wrong to be kicked out of the
But they
program.
did tell you what's wrong.
How can you
Hateful
expect
slurs.
me to do better when you didn't tell me what I did wrong to begin with? Doesn't seem to make much sense from any kind of a professional or business standpoint, does it? It's pretty ludicrous, and they're pretty stupid for doing it. But anyway, I digress. Would I DDoS Twitch's entire website undetected and cause permanent irreversible damage for screwing me over unfairly? No. That is absolutely ridiculous. I would never do that. Listen, they can run their business however they want. They have the legal right to do that. Were you aware of that? They do. They have the legal right to do that.
Look at
what
this.
they don't have the right to do is violate contractual agreements that they have. They had a contractual agreement with me, and I believe Twitch is based in the state of California. California has certain laws in place to business agreements, and I would be interested if they violated the business agreement because I had a contract with them that they violated without any proof of wrongdoing, okay? If you have proof of wrongdoing, you have to prove it. You can't just say we have proof, so we're just going to do it. No, you have to show the proof. That would be like saying,
But they said
you get arrested,
whatever.
you
Okay.
go to court.
He just
in
said
the legal
this
proceeding, okay,
just before this. He talked about how oh, what was it? That they could terminate you for no reason.
is he guilty? And the cop says, I have evidence, Your Honor. Case dismissed. You're guilty. Wait, what's the evidence? Where is it? Don't have to show it. You're guilty. Goodbye. What? That's not how it works. If there's a legally binding contract saying if one side does one thing and the other side does another thing, then that contract will continue to exist, and one side decides to sever that contract, they have to show the means by which they made that decision and how it was justified legally. I don't think Twitch did that. I do feel that they're in violation of their own contract, okay? So, could I take them to court for that eventually if I ever wanted to? Probably. Would I
take
win?
him?
Probably not.
Take him to court. Come on.
There's not a lot of understanding of tech stuff these days. There's been judges that literally don't even understand the situation on YouTube and dismiss YouTube lawsuits. It makes no sense they would dismiss them. So that's the thing. Like, I don't think I would ever. First of all, I don't have the means. I don't have the time. It's not worth my time. The deal is that when you get treated like that by a business, you don't want to be a part of them anymore.
What's for
correct?
big dinner?
And it's true. I want absolutely nothing to do with Twitch at this point. You know, the only reason I would go back to get treated like that by a business, you don't want to be a part of them anymore. Correct? And it's true. I want absolutely nothing to do with Twitch at this point.
The only
reason I would go back there is I had nowhere else to go. And even then, it would be a temporary thing. Trust me. It would be like it's a lesser of two evils kind of a deal. But I really don't see the point in going
The rule
back
of law,
to
the
them,
idea that no matter who you are, your actions have consequences.
I don't like that philosophy. That at any point, they can punish you and not have to prove you did anything wrong. That's ludicrous. Okay? Now, all that being said, would I do anything to hurt Twitch? No. Listen. There's plenty of fine people on Twitch that use that website for business purposes. I can't imagine why. There's now been so much evidence in the last 2 years that site literally doesn't care about anything. They will do whatever they want. They have agendas in place.
I like how doing the woke shit or whatever is agendas. All this stuff that's associated with like Democrats or liberals is all agendas. But that would imply that he thinks that there's no agendas that the right would also provide or whatever. I mean, either way, dude, come on.
They push certain people because of their agendas.
It's ridiculous.
Bullshit. The site is horrible at this point. And if anything, people should be trying to leave in droves. The fact that there's people who celebrate becoming a Twitch partner every day.
Damn their happiness, man.
Is ludicrous. Like, you have to be the dumbest person to think that this is an accomplishment. You're going somewhere where you can literally be eliminated in a moment.
Like, you can say that about YouTube. People lose their YouTube channels all the time.
It makes no sense. But anyway.
Okay.
No, I don't wish any ill will towards the company, towards anyone who uses it. I don't want to destroy Twitch. I wish they would change for the better. It's a shame that I was there for almost 5 years.
He wants them to change. This dude, man. He wants them to apologize.
And they literally don't care about you. They will just crush you like a bug if they got something wrong.
Phil Politics channel.
Because the thing is, I didn't do anything to cause them to kick me off the site. They just determined one day they wanted me off. Likely it was because of the large amount of hate that I get thrown my way. And, it's a negative association to have someone who's is hated on the site. It's such a joke. So, anyway. No, I don't wish any ill will. I don't want to destroy the business of the site. You know, I would never do anything like that. Even if an opportunity presented itself to me, no. I don't hold grudges. I don't care. If ever they would change their mindset, I would go back. I liked being on Twitch. I liked the chat. I liked the culture. The problem was
culture.
It was run by idiots. Kick the idiots out.
Oh, does he like Twitch culture?
How the site's run, I'll come back. It's that simple. Okay.
What?
To the culture. The problem was it was run by idiots. Kick the idiots out. Change the mentality of how the site's run, I'll come back.
That's how he's gonna come back. If he ever gets his partnership back, he's just gonna say that's what happened without any evidence. And they're like, well, this guy still has a job. It's not him, man. Someone else.
Why do people get banned for saying they can beat you in Street Fighter and that you suck at games? I don't even know what you're talking about.
He's talking about the time that Rich super chatted him saying I could beat him in Street Fighter or whatever, and he banned him. But he was gonna ban Rich anyway.
They could beat me in Street Fighter. It's the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard. Okay, let's continue. Go Team Venture asks the following: Are things opening up more and more? Wait, as things are opening up more and more, is there a chance of future fan meetups at conventions, etc.? Thanks. Let me put it this way. I will never say no, but at the same time, there's no plans for that. The way that could happen is very simple.
Very simple.
I get to a point where I don't have to be here 6 days a week full time because things get better for me, financially.
Oh, he's saying
that's
the question is about him having 2 days off.
More money, and therefore it's not a big deal anymore. I could take those days off I used to a decade ago. Because that's the truth. Back in the day, I was making so much money on YouTube that I could take time off to be at a convention. I didn't care if I made money at the convention or not. I mean, I did. I filmed videos there that made money, but I didn't have to worry about that.
You made money anyway.
And I say, oh no, I'm not making money. I was making so much that it didn't matter. You see what I'm saying? No big deal.
But he also made the videos to make up. Oh, whatever.
Now I have to be here 6 days a week full time to make ends meet. That's just the situation I'm in. All right, and I come to terms with it. If things change in the future, that would be great. Maybe I could go back to conventions. Okay. It's not a matter that I don't want to meet with my fans. I don't want to, hang out with them or chill, whatever. It's a matter of feasibility.
The trolls.
The other thing is, outside of me growing this business and making more money, if I could eventually do something like do a refinancing, with this home that I have and the equity I have in it. The problem is I had a bankruptcy 3 years ago. No company will really touch me. They don't want to deal with me because they say your credit's terrible. You can't refinance when you just had a bankruptcy and a Can I do anything? We'll see what happens in the future. If things get better, then I could do something like that. I would do it. Why wouldn't I? Right? Okay.
Right?
Derek asked a question. Is there anything you miss doing that you did back in the day, or would you like to?
Why not invest in the business?
The second half of the question confuses the heck out of me. Would I like to forget everything that I used to do? No, I don't have horrible.
Wait, what was the question?
Used to do. Then I could do something like that. I would do it. Why wouldn't I? Right? Okay. Derek asked a question. Is there anything you miss doing that you did back in the day, or would you like to forget everything that you used to do? The second half of the question confuses the heck out of me. Would I like to forget everything that I used to do? No, I don't have horrible.
Okay, then that's not an option.
Horrible regrets and horrible saddened memories, depressing, crushing memories.
That's the first thing he
I
goes.
don't want to remember ever doing that.
That's the first thing he goes to before answering the question.
I like to think that here's the thing. A lot of things that I've done in the last 15 years of my life have been well documented. I filmed them all, right? I chose to put those moments on the internet, and those moments are essentially immortalized as long as YouTube still exists. Correct? So, those things are always going to be there to remember that they happened, and I'm the kind of person that I can look back happily at the past, and I can say, here's things that I used to say and do, or things that I used to enjoy. I don't do them anymore, but they were very nice, and I could kind of reminisce and put a smile on my face and say, I'm glad that I had them when I had them, or I did them.
I don't know, man.
Let's talk about
I am not crazy.
I used to be able to spend time with my parents every week. I don't do that anymore. I don't live with them anymore, or live near them anymore, I should say.
Okay.
I used to be able to eat. Again, the ability, the flexibility to do whatever I wanted, because I had so much money that I could actually take entire days away from doing anything kind of considered serious work, and I could go to a convention. I could go to a tournament. I could do whatever I want. I'm off to say this to the day I freaking die. Was basically when I was doing weekly co-op with John Rambo.
Oh my god!
For a 2-year span there, 2.5, 3-year span, because I think it all started late 20.
He'll never change.
I got laid off from my job, and we were doing the co-op stuff 2011, 2012,
my life has been
and
tough
2013,
over the last decade.
and it all ended in 2014 when I moved. Right, so I can wholeheartedly tell you guys, those years, 3.5 years, fun no matter what it was that I got to hang. Where I didn't have to do that because I was hanging out with a friend felt very different. Right. Hold on one sec.
Oh my god, this is
6
so
days a
rough.
week, I was busting my ass. It was me just talking to a camera. It was definitely me. See, and when did I get that social fun interaction? When Rambo came over. So those were special times for me. Those are a good 3-year period where every Saturday Rambo would come over and we'd have that opportunity to just chill. And even though those were special, I feel grind. Like to him, it turned into, this is a work for me. This is a grind to make money. As opposed to for me, that was literally my day a week to escape the stresses of being a full-time YouTuber. And instead just to be able to do fun stuff with a friend. And I don't think that over time that he retained that feeling. I think it changed for him. I mean, amount of money and
Okay.
a lot of the games we played he didn't like. Who cares? I didn't like him either. For me it was the
But then
fun
why
of
didn't you
hanging
play
out
games
with
that
him
you
doing
both
something.
liked?
It didn't have to be the game. It was just the fun of chilling. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely.
But this
feel
is
like,
kind of stupid of him to say, because at this point it's pretty much like saying like I made him play bad games and I don't like him either. Why are you spending his time with that then?
over time that changed for him for some reason. I don't know why, because for me it always was that same level of fun, and it was that same level of even at the end there. And I say the whole last year that we were doing co-op, we were not making a lot of money doing co-op. We weren't. I was making way more money doing the solo stuff all week long. 6 days a week. I was
Yeah, you
doing
almost
solo
should be the only one
content,
making money. It's easier that
solo
way, dude.
playthroughs, solo reviews, all of that. That was making ginormous amounts of money, and the co-op stuff we were doing was kind of like
That's
just
the
excursion.
Burnell way.
It was barely doing anything, and maybe that's what it was. Where near the end, it was making way less money or whatever for him, and maybe he got upset that he was still driving and doing it. I don't know.
I don't know.
Like that was the special thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it was.
Why
really
didn't you
special
ask
time.
him?
Yes. Do I miss that? Absolutely. I miss having a day a week where I can just hang out with a friend and shoot the shit.
You
I
can't.
don't have that anymore. What I do have is
He can't do that with Cat.
meaningful home life with my wife and Jasper, and I love that. Don't get me wrong. I like that more than the life that I had back then. The life that I had back then was literally I'm alone for 6 days a week, and once a week I see my parents, and then I get to hang out with John once a week, and that was my life. Today it's just much better. Okay, it is. My life today is ginormously better than it was back then. But at the same time, was something lost with that friendship? And the
Oh
loss
my
of the trust?
god.
Saying he didn't want to do it before 7 years later. Okay? All right, at this point now, it is time to do shout outs for my patrons.
Oh
Those who
boy.
pledged to my Patreon. Thank you so much, Don Donald. Thank you.
I am not crazy.
No, he orchestrated it.
What a sick joke.
Oh, no, you didn't, you motherfucking piece of shit cocksucker. Mark my fucking
God.
words. I'm coming for you. I'm gonna find out who the fuck you are. You motherfucker. Let this be known as live. It would help if I unmuted the mic. And you guys would probably hear me, huh? I totally revealed all kinds of big secrets and all kinds of
Wow,
in-depth
so
stuff.
funny.
Did you
Guys
get it all,
laughing yet?
huh? Well, that's too bad. I'm not gonna go over it again. All right, let's go to forum questions now, everybody.
Okay, let's do it.
So, Sherry92 asks the following. Sherry92 asks the following. Will you and Kat ever do streams together ever again?
Oh my god, this
Now,
question
I've answered
again!
This question before. I always answer it the same way. I'll answer it again.
Oh my god.
It's worth reiteration.
This
For those
is
who
the
didn't
bi-monthly
answer,
Cat
'cause
update.
I don't often bring it up, okay? Brief summary of
The
my wife's
bi-monthly
interaction
Cat
with myself and my business. My wife moved in with me in 2018.
Oh my god,
When she moved in
this
with me,
dude.
Our plan was as follows. Periodically, she was going to appear on my streams in a Q&A capacity, where perhaps we would do like a half an hour to an hour session of Q&A, and she would answer your questions about herself.
Why did it start off that
About her
way?
past,
You know
her
what?
history.
Why was that the first thing they did together? They're both gamers, right? And he streams games. Why didn't he stream games with her the first time? Why was it this awkward Q&A? Okay.
history as a gamer, whatever it might be. And that was totally on her to choose what she wanted to answer or what she didn't want to answer. That was kind of our idea. And then what we were going to do is gradually, we were going to be doing more content with her in it. We were talking about possibly she could cook, and during, we could like cooking with her, cooking with Kat.
Cooking with Cat?
Recipes and the like.
He was gonna name the
And
show
go off
Cooking with
cooking.
Cat? Really?
And then we were going to do other things as well, perhaps gameplay. Like we had all these ideas of things that we were going to do over time. And if you remember, she moved.
These are not plans, though. The cooking thing was a thing he strung together at the last minute for a monthly sub goal. It wasn't a thing he was, like, actively thinking about.
And she was in maybe a small handful of streams. I want to argue 3 streams, maybe. Nothing too major. A few Q&A sessions or whatever. And then finally, the big thing that was planned was that Halloween 2018, we were going to do a special Halloween all-day event marathon like I usually do. We were both going to, dress up in Halloween costumes, right?
Right?
And during the course of the day, we were going to play a variety of games like we always do. and we were gonna actually do co-commentary. Now I was gonna play the games, but she was gonna commentate over them with me. She came for the intro, and she came for the first game, which is the Silent Hill game. And during the course of that game, basically all my trolls came to the stream. This was a little different because this was back on Twitch, right? So it was a little different. And they came over there and proceeded to basically be the most disgusting audience I've ever seen. Okay, insulting her looks, bringing up things from her past that had absolutely nothing to do whatsoever.
This dude, man.
Today, all right, like literally things from the past that we've never spoken of, has no one's business. It's none of anyone's business.
So then it's true what was said then.
On the stream and shit. What? Okay.
Right? What?
The nastiest stuff. So within basically about, I want to say, I don't know, the intro and then maybe an hour of gameplay. Okay.
But the thing is, he told us off the bat, Kat wasn't gonna be there for the whole marathon. She had somewhere else to go all this time, and then it's Tevin's fault, man. She ran away.
She basically got seriously bothered by what was going on the stream. She's looking at the chat or whatever, and she got seriously bothered. And we went on break, and she told me on break, I don't want to go back. I was like, why? What happened? She's like, did you see the things they were saying? Like, she's the kind of person that she knows that that's bullshit. She's not.
Okay, but
right?
why did Kat? Okay, why did Kat move into? Oh my god, why can't I speak today? Why did Kat move in with someone who's infamously trolled?
Trolls trying to get to her, but when someone's just gonna sit there and rag on you constantly and say nasty things about you, and then bring up shit that has nothing to do with the present day you, things from your past, nasty things about your past and things. Why would you put yourself into that position? Does she have any incentive? This is my stream. It's my business, not hers. It's, you know what I'm saying? That
it pays the bills,
something
though.
Nice that we were doing for the viewers.
You mean?
Hey, it's nice to have someone, to have someone as a special guest and to add something, right? It's not just Phil talking constantly in his content. There's someone else to add something, right? You guys tell me all the time.
But literally, look at the kind of commentary she was giving during the Halloween marathon. She looked bored as fuck. See, I think he's kind of playing up the opportunity that he got from the whole thing. Because I just think Kat doesn't want to do it. I don't think she wanted to be on camera at all. And he was like, no, man, it's going to be cool. And then she's like, no, I don't want to do it. Okay, it's the troll's fault, dude. Or something.
Person on your streams or whatever. That was definitely what we were going for.
He kind of played, he might be even playing it up.
And
she might have said like, hey, I don't mind coming back on. It is what it is. It's just the comments, the chat section kind of sucked. And that's it. That's what she could have told him. And to him, oh, it's done. Over.
Really to have the trolls be
Whatever.
so nasty to her, she's like, I have no desire to ever be on your stream ever again. Like, why would I? If any time that I step onto the stream, I'm now putting myself in the line of fire. I'm putting myself in a situation where these people think that it's just fair game to be absolutely disgusting to me for no good reason. Why would I do that? Just think about that. If you go a certain place,
Think about it.
You're going to be mistreated. There's no positive benefit for you to be there. It's not like you get anything out of it. You're trying to be nice to be there, but people are just going to be gross to you. Why would you put yourself in that position? Right? Why? Why on earth?
Why did she marry you then?
It doesn't make any sense.
Whatever.
So basically, after that happening,
Being toxic.
there were other opportunities, Christmas events, other Halloween events, special things, playthroughs, and we talked about it. And every time sometimes she even thinks, yes, maybe this will be different, and I'll do it. And then by the time that happens, she's like, you know what? I still remember that day. I still remember how nasty they were to me. And the thing
Dude,
is,
this kind
you
of
guys
putting
probably
more
know
attention
that we
to
don't.
that whole
It's not
like
like
trolling
it got any
situation
better.
though.
The people who are that gross continue to be that gross. They continue to delve into things that are none of their business, private shit behind the scenes that has nothing to do with me or my streams or her or anything like this. And they've continued to get nastier.
Yeah, she streamed before.
Do you ever hear about
I
it?
just think I think he's just playing it up.
Nothing to do with these streams. Why would I bring it up? But some of the grossest shit you'll ever see is on the internet. And
No, DSP is saying this, but he did a joke like a week ago where he was making fun that no one was turning him to a sex object on stream or whatever. Like, oh, you You see a female streamer and you praise her looks but not mine, like that kind of joke. And then he says shit like this. Okay.
Moment that she were to come back and be on stream, of course you know those fuck faces are gonna try to come here and be nasty to her again. What's the point? Seriously.
Whatever.
What's the point, right?
What's the point?
So until things change, until that insane...
If she doesn't want to come, that's fine.
Just insult someone for the sake of doing it, until that goes away, I don't think she's ever going to want to come back to the streams. Is that ever going to go away? Probably not. It certainly doesn't look like it's gotten any better over the years, right? I mean, what you
He tells us all the time it's gotten better though.
Right now, I just went through that whole segment.
Now he's saying it hasn't gotten better.
Nasty thing about Academy, because we have that shit under control now. But it used to be to the point where people would just say or do whatever they want.
Okay, so why not have her on now then?
You get to the point where it's like, what's the point of this, right? Seriously, what is the point?
But you have it on lockdown though.
Benefit anything? It doesn't improve the stream.
Man,
It's not like she gets anything out of it. It's just something nice to do every once in a while. And if she has to take abuse because of it, of course not. What's the point of that then, right? So, I mean, at this point, it's been over 4 effing
I still
years.
think about the time this guy asked,
Has things gotten better? No,
like, oh,
I
I'll
said,
send
these
Kat
people
a
that
Switch,
stuff in the head,
and all
think
I want
this
her to do is
fun
like
stuff
give
to
me a
do.
thumbs up
Some
off
people
camera.
have just
And
gotten
DSP
worse
got
about it.
really mad about that.
You know what I mean? It's not like it stopped. It just got worse and worse, more toxic.
It's
more
just,
toxic.
like it's a stupid like
Why?
tip or whatever, sure,
The
but
more you give for them to
You know.
have things to talk about, the worse it will get. We know that for a fact.
we know
The
that.
more
We know
personal
it.
information I give about my life, the worse it gets for me because they just make more shit up. So the moment she appears on stream, here comes negativity. So why bother with it, right?
Why bother?
Why put yourself into that position to be messed with? And that's basically where we've been for 4.5 years, and she's no desire to come back. You know what I mean? It's a shame. It really is a shame. She has active desire sometimes to come and be a part of this, and there's just no reason. I couldn't convince her. I don't even know how to convince her. You know, with as toxic as these people have become, I don't know how I would convince her to ever come on the stream again. You know, it's pretty stupid and pretty messed up, but that's just reality.
Does he really ask her though?
Does
Does she ask?
Tickled Bruno had done a super saying you had no audio. Yes, thank you. And also, let's see here. Oh, Slayer, yes, I answered your question.
Slayer, I did answer your question.
Yup, no worries.
Rewind the
Your
stream.
questions were answered. I don't think they were amazing answers or anything, but I definitely answered your questions earlier. They were actually the very first questions answered on.
All right.
Oh, let's see here. Next forum question is from Nick P136, and Nick asks the following. Okay, in recent years, I've watched other fighting game community adjacents like Justin I've watched other FGC adjacents like Justin Wong and Lord BBH do streams of fighting games that I think would be interesting for you to try. I need to clarify again, I don't know why people think this, okay? I am not in the fighting game community.
Oh
I am
my
not
God.
part of the FGC. I've not been for over a decade. Just because I play games online and put out fighting game content, I am not part of the fighting
But you
game
talk
community.
about the fighting
I
game
think
community
people are
all the
wrong with
time.
that shit.
You're pretty much
Justin
part of it
Wong
because of
very much
that.
is not my adjacent. I have nothing to do with the kind of
Like,
stuff that he
dude,
does
come
at
on.
all. I don't
You could be in the Guildier community and not be an Evo goer.
Games. You know what I mean? Like, just because I buy a fighting game and I play through the story and I play some random matches online and I go in the lab with characters, this is not what he's doing. You see? He's completely different from me. All right? People really need to stop with this. Oh, you're part of the FGC and you're adjacent. I have no adjacent to the FGC. I'm not in the FGC. You gotta stop putting me in that comparison because it's like apples to oranges. You understand? Now, continuing on with what he's saying, one of the ideas is trying to clear the
Kinda
fighting game
Black
only
Doom,
on
but he
one
always
credit. And it should be a game that you liked from the
he
past,
always
or maybe
re-explains the
you get a
question
random
though.
request from a fan to try to do that.
So
It would be entertaining, in my opinion, for you to see how your skills translate to games you don't know, and you learn about them while teaching us about those mechanics, etc. It could become a checklist to see how many complete in a stream or over the course of a year, with you going back to ones you want to complete that you couldn't the last time. If there was downtime in the future and no relevant ongoing fighting game stream like Friday Night Fights, would you consider playing these on the MAME emulator or whatever console they're released on? Of course, this is provided you have the right PC setup to do this. First of all, I mean, this is so many things. Number one, no, nothing would ever be on MAME because I can't do that on my current setup. It absolutely would have to be 100%.
Oh my god. I forgot what the question was.
Would be things that I could do like this, but it has nothing to do with me buying a new computer. Okay.
You can't buy a new
Now,
computer. No. Can't do it.
If that's the case, okay, what about the idea in general? Listen, this is probably an idea maybe I would enjoy, right? I love fighting games. I grew up playing them in the 1990s. I played them competitively in the 2000s. I retired in 2007. I came back to the fighting game community 2009, 2010 with Street Fighter 4. I played that for a couple of years, liked it, but then I retired essentially again around 2011 when I realized I just wanted to be a variety content creator and I didn't want to be part of that FGC.
Okay, we're still talking about the FGC.
The last time I even played in a tournament was Screw Attack Gaming Convention a decade ago. And since then, I have zero desire to ever play. That being said, would I enjoy a fighting game challenge night once a week where we play old school fighting games and you challenge? Oh, beat it on 1 credit. Play it on the hardest difficulty. Do this variation. Try this character. I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
Free bounties, dude.
I don't think so, right? When you see me play fighting games, usually you want to see me play other humans. You don't care about me playing against the CPU.
Okay, then we can complain about the crypt.
Sadly, doesn't mean it would work for me. I like the idea, Nick. I actually do.
Why not just do ranked mode?
Work with my audience. This is not.
Why does it do like weird things? Why not just play ranked mode in a fighting game with different characters or whatever?
Across the globe on a daily basis. Is this something? Would people want Friday Night Fights where DSP challenges himself to offline fighting games at various difficulty levels, characters, and challenge? Would there be bounties? Would there be people who would challenge me?
Bounties.
Hey, tonight's bounty is Street Fighter Alpha 3, and if you can beat Street Fighter Alpha 3 arcade mode on the hardest difficulty.
But this is kind of stupid. At this point, you're just paying him to play a game.
Or if you can get 5 perfects tonight,
they're playing the game through DSP by giving him money.
Steal the life insurance money. That could work.
Oh, thanks for the,
A daily reminder that Lady Cleo at the house of Theodorus the Greekus is guarding the gates of heaven and laying a Skullgirl's level of combo and swooping to keep the queen at bay still. All hail best girl, praying gesture.
So let me put it this way.
Thank you.
I will officially
Thank you, Arizona Made Gamer.
I'll say this is Nick's idea, and I will throw my hat pro fighting games online.
I'm glad we didn't. He was still on that question. He was still on that question, and it was like
Street Fighter Collection, 30th Anniversary Collection, so I could play any of the classics. Any of the versions of Street Fighter 2, and a few other. But what would they be? And would you like to see this? Would you like to do that? And if the question is if people will show up, engage and support those streams, abso-freaking-lutely 1,000,000%, I would do them. But from what I've seen, people only.
That's fine, Mardrake.
Like
I don't think I have raids open.
Brand spanking new. And when they're brand new, they'll come out to see the new games, see me play the new characters, play it online, all that. And then number 2,
at the perfect time.
If I'm doing online play.
Oh my god, we're still
put idea out there. Thank you, Nick, for the idea. What do you guys? People care. Let me know. Very, very deep. And never speak of it ever again. But thank you, Nick, for the idea. Golden Nobles asks the following. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is my favorite fighting game to this day. I'm wondering if you truly hate it, because I remember when it came out, you strongly criticized it. What in the game didn't you like? Here's what was asks the following. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is my favorite variety of characters.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is fine, but it's nothing crazy.
Street Fighter in general, but also the Marvel universe. They added more characters, that previously maybe were not in previous Marvel games and were kind of interesting. Flashiness was off the charts. The visual style of Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was great. It had that cell shading that kind of made it look like a comic book. The combos were amazingly flashy. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything was great. What was bad about it? The gameplay. What was wrong with the gameplay? The gameplay was completely unbalanced.
Okay. Hates comeback mechanics.
Comeback, 100% balance. The entire game over.
But technically, Super Turbo had comeback mechanics with the supers.
Grew up in the 90s playing fighting games that weren't like that. That were based more on basics and future, like Dragon Ball Fighters, was almost exactly the same. It's like they followed that same mentality of, we don't care about fundamentals, just make it a combo maker, hit that one hit, it's over.
It's over, dude.
All right? Marvel 2 came out in the late 1990s. Ultimate Marvel 3 came out. How much out? No one cared. Then combo maker game for Flash for streamers, I think it would have been a lot more successful over time. But it flopped after a few years because it didn't have fundamentals that were sound for competitive play. That's my take on it. Okay?
Okay.
A couple super chats have come in. Please allow me to get a couple more questions before we get to the Twitter questions. We got 2 more forum questions. Felix the Maid, FPS genre, or fade away into the dark abyss. Only time will tell, and certainly I don't know. What I would say
I don't
is,
know.
and I mean this, seriously, was amazing.
Dude, these questions are like white noise.
On last gen consoles was a piece of dog shit. I remember on Xbox 360 and PS3 chugging along and being, I loved that game. And then ever since then, they've never made a good game. I don't get it. Where did they lose their way? You had Battlefield 1, Battlefield 24. So all they got to do, go back to their roots. What was Battlefield 4? What worked? What didn't?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you hate Battlefield 4 when it came out,
It
probably.
seems like they don't have the ability to do that anymore. Okay, last forum question from Chris. I want to know from your personal opinion, how does a content creator know when to change his or her style of content, not only for the benefit of the creator themselves, but for the viewing audience as well? You know, that's an interesting question.
Oh my
for
god,
sure.
it's not
Because
really.
over the years I've been a content creator, I was one of the most stubborn. I was one of the latest people to adopt direct capture. I was one of the latest people to care about the streams and turn them interactive. And only now, how many years later, after being asked to do it, am I finally branching out and doing non-gaming content? Most notably,
The reacts that he does when you hit a membership goal,
that I started doing an ongoing podcast on a daily basis called the Level 1 Podcast.
which was a pre-stream he was already doing.
It's interesting because I think it's a common.
He even called the pre-streams a podcast before he called them a podcast.
On in the industry and try to jump on trends when they're becoming popular. I almost never do that. I tried KO gaming for a year. For some people, you might just get burnout and not want to do what you're doing anymore and change it up. For others, it might be that the fans have lost interest and want you to change. Some people sadly get stuck into a rut where they just have to do the same thing forever, and that sucks. I'll give you an example. The Angry Video Game Nerd. He's tried to branch out and do a movie.
The movie was part of the Angry Video Game Nerd lore, so he didn't really venture out. He just made a movie, which is like the logical step for most TV shows anyway.
He tried to do other content.
The other content still works. He still does them.
People don't care. He has to be the AVGN. Those are the videos that bring in the views for him. Take a look at the Nostalgia Critic. Here's someone who wanted to branch out and cancel the character and do other content, and it failed miserably.
Yeah, because he sucks.
Has to be the Nostalgia Critic forever, because that's what people want to see. Take a look at Angry Joe. What gets views for Angry Joe? His highly edited, produced, skit-filled reviews are ginormously successful for him. Does he do other things? Yes. Does anyone care? His hardcore fans, but not the mainstream viewers. That's why he has to continue to do the ginormously produced content to keep his content going. And that's sad,
okay, but he's using content to support his other content.
And do different things, and you would hope that
like sometimes you gotta do shit you don't like to do.
Feels that for a lot of people that doesn't happen, right?
Right?
For me, I'm happy enough to say that these different times when I've changed myself up, there's always been a good amount of people along for the ride who definitely support me. And I really, really appreciate that. So thank you to those who've been along for all these years. I keep changing. But what is the trigger? It could be very different. Like I said, it could be me. It could be the viewers. It could be the situation, the circumstance. Distributions. We have Tickled Bruno, who did a super chat and says,
"Oh, Tickle's gonna be the new meme."
Street Fighter 4. You mentioned it took me back. You're mentioning it. Excuse me. Took me back to 2008. That was the first game I ever bought for PS3. You get the sweet taste of, and then it cut off. But then he did a second super chat.
Whoa, what?
And this one says, "Hello, Phil. Can you play some Street Fighter 4? You mentioning it took me back to 2008. It was the first game I bought for PS3.
Oh my god.
To my knowledge.
Let's move on.
For what I'm to understand, what happened was, if you remember during its heyday, okay, Street Fighter 4 had
He'll never change.
Xbox 360 and PS3 versions. Eventually, it came out for PC, and the PC version was actually the far inferior version of the game. So the consensus was you got to play it on consoles.
Oh my
and at
God.
tournaments, I believe it was widely accepted the PS3 version was the one, but the funny part about it was the Xbox 360 version was better. It had less input lag, but there was this weird partnership with Sony that Evo had, so it was always PS3 even though it was the worst version of the game. That's what they used at tournaments. But then over the years, there was a PS4 version that came out, and everyone was like, oh, this is good, now you can play it on a modern console. Then later it was determined the PS4 version sucked and had even more input delay than the previous version.
Street Fighter 4 on the PS4, it sucked at launch, but they fixed it, and I don't think it has that big input delay anymore.
So
But
you didn't wanna
whatever.
play it. And since then, it just
Whatever.
seems like the whole thing fizzled out and no one ever had a consensus.
I'm pretty sure they fixed it.
This is the version of Street Fighter 4 that we should play moving forward. Now, recently, I've seen some interesting discussions online because I do follow some people in the fighting game community just to stay up on the new comings there.
But you're not part of the FGC though. Why do you care?
Games recently got rollback netcode. Games
Oh
that
shit!
thought would ever get rollback.
He's gonna play Guilty Gear.
Dun
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 dun dun dun.
Actually, actively discussing. Do you think Capcom would go back to their older games and add rollback netcode? And actually, Street Fighter 4 has been one of the games that has been discussed.
I thought it had rollback.
Then maybe what would happen? Whatever version,
but I guess it doesn't.
Netcode would now become the standard version that everyone would play, and now you'd have an opportunity to say, "Oh, this if I want to play Street Fighter 4, this is where I go play it now." Right now, I wouldn't even know what to do. Do I get the Xbox 360 version and try to play it on my Series X? Do I get
He owns
the
a 360 version.
And try to play it on my PS5? Do I buy the PS4 version and try to play it on my PS5?
Buy the PS3 version and play it on his PS5. Think about that statement for a hot minute.
Like, what would even be the modern version of Street Fighter 4 to play? I couldn't even answer the question, and I don't think the FGC has a definitive answer. That's why most of them dropped the game. You see? So, interesting questions. Thank you, Tickle to Bruno, for the super chat. Would I ever play Street Fighter 4 again? I'm not against it. It's just that I don't think
he is against it though. He tells people all the time he doesn't want to play it.
There'd have to be an answer. I don't think there's an answer right now. So
okay.
Josh Meach did a super chat and says, "I'm a recent lurker. Would you ever just listen to this?
Listen to
Would you
this.
Ever do an audit with Caleb Hammer? He's cool and informative YouTube.
Listen to
I have
this.
No idea what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. Listen to
Caleb
this.
Hammer is. I don't know what you mean by an audit. So since I have no idea what you're talking about, my answer will be simply no. But thank you.
No, idiot. Yes.
All right, we have Twitter questions to end the show, so let's get into them. Our first Twitter question is from Toy2 Legacy of Toy, and asks the following: Thoughts
You're just
on
learning the game again, dude.
Overcharging on retro gaming equipment such as video games and consoles and taking advantage of retro gaming community. Yeah, it is getting bad from what I'm to understand. From what I'm to understand, in the last 5+ years, there has been a giant boom in the retro gaming community. When I was starting off as a YouTuber over a decade ago, I used to go to conventions, and I used to see at conventions, seriously, like a ton of games being sold on the cheap. NES games going for a couple bucks each, right? Now, the rare ones, for example, the Mega Man series, right? That would always be expensive. Earthbound, if you found a copy of it, always went for a lot of money. Chrono Trigger. The big, notable games of the 90s always kind of went for a lot. For years, there's been a ginormous explosion of interest in retro gaming, as gaming has now become way more mainstream, probably because it's broken through to other forms of media and the like. And now, people who never even owned these games, people who never had a cabinet or even played on an arcade cabinet during the heyday of arcades, now want this stuff in their homes. So,
well, people who grew up with that wanted for like memorabilia.
Explosions of the value of retro stuff. I mean, hell, take a look at the last summer when we went through my closet. We did the closet clean out event, correct? And how many people contacted me and said, "Dude, are you aware this game is worth like $100?" I was like, "What? I bought the game for like $5 just a couple years ago."
Things go up in price sometimes. What?
Dollars now, because now there's apparently a market for this stuff. So it's just funny because I see on YouTube videos like, "Wow, this is a scam, and these scams are hurting collectors because it drives up prices and stuff." And I've spoken myself what they claim are replica arcade cabinets.
Oh my god, this takes so long.
Retro arcade game. Sometimes it's several ROMs, and they frequently touts online features. For the 1990s, it was a 3D, NFL football game that was very popular in arcade. Now they have one that they made. I'm shit you because it's so small as a 4-player cabinet to pretend like it's some big deal, and they're Marvel versus Capcom 2 and it has online play, and all still doesn't have online play. And they're doing this in sell that. It's American style controls that are falling. There's always something. It seems like the people who retro, it's hip to be into old. It's hip to have.
Oh my god.
So, that's what I mean. It seems like what's happening now. It's hip to be retro.
Dude, that's been a thing for years.
It's hip to be into old.
Oh
it's
my
hip
god.
To have the Pac-Man. Hey, guess what, guys? I fucking played Pac-Man in arcades in the 80s and the 90s. I know about it, and I can have this lamp and say, I know what this is.
Look how this is such a boomer rant, and it's kind of stupid if you think about it. He goes on and on how he wants people to respect the past and study the past and all this stuff of the past, fighting games, the FGC, whatever. But then when people go back and play retro games because it's hip to be retro, oh, let's shame them for doing that. But they're doing what you want them to do, DSP. They're respecting the past.
I played these fucking games because I'm 40 years old.
Gatekeep,
I own
bitch.
the cartridges, so the artwork is appropriate to me. You're gonna have 20-year-old kids who've never even touched this shit. Oh, it's so cool to have it, man. It's like,
Or what if they just like the
People
style?
played in arcades. Oh, I need to have an arcade collection at home.
Oh, okay.
It's stupid.
Whatever.
What it does, it's this artificial demand that inflates the prices of everything. So now you used to be able to buy an arcade board and a bunch of the cabinets for like $500. You could build a full-size arcade cabinet at home. Now it probably costs $2,000 because all the prices are inflated. You used to be able to have a retro gaming collection.
Who would want? I don't know. I wouldn't want an
$500
arcade cabinet in my house.
Library of games. Now you drop $500. You probably, because like I said, when I started on YouTube,
Oh my god, this is ridiculous.
I would go to conventions and see what they had and grab. Anyway, let's continue. Burnsy Dezois.
Burnsy.
No, Bumsy Dezois.
Oh, Bumsy.
Asked the following: will you
Oh,
ever
hi.
play any of the Monster Hunter games like Monster Hunter Rise? Because that's out on Game Pass right now. I've already explained that.
DSP said that, hey, it's on Game Pass. Why not try it? And now he's like, I don't want to play it, man.
Playing the 3DS with people who tell you, does Monster Hunter in? I don't think of it like that. I don't have gaming moments that I think of that were amazing. You know what I mean? I mean, competitively, what's my best gaming moment? When I got 4th place at EVO 2005.
I got some good wins in Guilty Gear. That's a high moment for me.
In that event. Top 3
Beating
world
the wolf
championship
guy
players.
boss in Elden Ring, that was pretty
I'll
cool.
never go to a tournament and never do that good ever again in my life. Okay? Just being honest. Did I play in other tournaments after that? Yes. Did I win them? Yes.
Okay.
Beating Sekiro the way that I did. So they spent hours upon hours trying to beat the final boss. It was so hard. And that's how I did that well. So, I don't know if that'll ever happen again and again. But are these moments that really matter? No. To me, any moment that I'm on a stream and I'm having a great time with you guys and there's, we laugh or we have, we're enjoying.
Oh my god,
that's all
another
it's
Monster
about.
Hunter
It's
question?
not
Oh my
about,
god.
some great overall accomplishment. Some amazing, over the ESP game to see an amazing showing from watch me a million times when I failed miserably. Oh, the name is pronounced Sawi. Wow.
Zawi?
Well, Sawi, they said, how do you think the world will end? Will there be a sort of apocalypse, an alien invasion that ends?
Oh my
humanity?
god.
Do you think the world will never end?
Dude, that's such a dumb question.
Sun goes supernova and destroy. If anything, our safe. We like to believe we're oh so small.
Oh my god,
You know,
things like with the pandemic.
then-
Oh, no one was prepared for it. Okay.
Apocalypse, but war will kill a lot. All right, we actually have.
We're
10
not
extra
listening to
minutes.
that. It's a really
10
stupid
extra
rant
minutes.
anyway.
Who would like to ask me a question? I actually can open up the stream chat. To open
All
the
these
chat.
questions have been
We don't
dumb.
Almost never do this on Ask the King, but we can do it. Okay. Carlos says, if you
Oh
receive
my
an
God.
old game IP, if you could revive an old game IP, what would it be? I missed the first 2 Lost Planets. Infamous.
No More Heroes. Duh. Skullgirls.
24-hour stream? No. The only way I would do a 24-hour stream is if it was designated with other streamers themselves. Even if you do it for charity, you're hurting.
Why not
yourself
just do a
to it.
24-hour
The
stream of you
human body is not
sleeping?
meant to sit still
You don't need to
for
sit in
24
one
hours.
place to do a
That is
24-hour
insane.
stream.
You're going to hurt your body with long-term damage. You should not do that.
Don't do it. Stop it.
Jay says, I got One Piece Part Warriors 4 yesterday, only $9 a game. Bug sacks.
What?
Okay, if I had to live in a horror game, what would it be?
Oh,
Bug sacks.
hilarious.
Best modern remake of a classic game I played in the last few years, Resident Evil 2. By far. It understood the spirit of the game.
Yeah, Resident Evil 2 Remake is a great game.
That's why it was my game of the year that year.
Wow.
Am I surprised GameStop's still in business? No. They will fail eventually. They're not going to be around. Maybe some sauerkraut. Maybe some
Oh my, I'm about to end the stream.
RAC. I can't really give you my opinion on Dead Space that's coming out soon because
This is so
last time I had
stupid.
pizza, like had a order out pizza in a long time. I'm a variety streamer. It was professional.
I really feel like I'm
If I
missing
beat
nothing.
Dead Space, I can't have an opinion on it until I play it tomorrow.
Like, what am I missing here?
Table. But when exactly I did this, I have absolutely no recollection.
What?
Maybe when I was a child. Somewhere with my parents. Because I can't remember when it was, but I swear I remember that. Do I believe people are inherently good or evil? No.
That was
What
a
is your
weird
favorite
question.
Fallout?
I don't even know what he was
Fallout.
talking about.
I'm feeling very nostalgic about it, but he stands as a special.
It sounded familiar though, but whatever. Who cares?
We'll
Not a
see
big
when I play
deal.
Fallout 3. The U.S. dollar will become worthless.
Whoa.
Will there ever be a time when the U.S. dollar will become worthless? Yes, when the U.S. fails to exist, the U.S. dollar will become worthless.
Yeah, man. Great
Did
response.
I ever watch any Japanese game shows? The only one I ever saw
Squid Games,
was
man.
MXC Most Extreme Elimination Challenge, which actually was.
Ugh. Oh my god, I thought it was paused.
They're all here on DSP Gaming. Happened. Did you remember? Was because I lost my office job unexpectedly. I was laid off. YouTube kicked me out of the partner.
Oh my god.
So after that, I came back to YouTube. This was, I'm gonna make it or whatever. I always kind of believed in those initial years, life I have today. So it all kind of worked out. At the same time, I never really had confidence that it would last forever. Being honest, I play Red Dead Redemption 2 again this year because it's been 5 years. I don't know.
He's not gonna play Red Dead Redemption 2 this soon.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta wait till 3 is announced. When Rockstar says Red Dead 3 is coming out, he's gonna play 2.
Announcing it today, I'm running for president, so everyone knows. Okay. And Vic Romano. Of course,
my god.
It would be the taxidermist DLC for Heavy Rain where you chop off a mass murderer's dick. With a chainsaw, no less.
Okay.
I'm not exaggerating. Go keep it the way it is, so I keep it. I would dye it. If it bothered her, I would dye it black. But she says just leave it, so I do.
He also says she doesn't care.
Same thing with the mustache. I actually have a lot of white hairs in my mustache, but I just leave it because she says to leave it. It's a Hawaiian brand. That's a blend of Hawaiian and other coffees, but it tastes really good, and it's my favorite right now.
His favorite.
I don't know what games I'll be playing this year. It's a good question, but we'll have to see what time permits. Watching whether you watch live here on.
Oh my god, it was nothing. It was nothing the whole time. Oh my god. Oh, this fucking Q&A is so bad. It's such a bad fucking Q&A. It's insane. It's insane. He has $101, by the way. So there's that. This Ask the King has been trash. All of them been trash. I'm surprised I lasted as long. God damn. Well, everyone, thank you for watching this Endure the King. It was a train wreck. It was terrible. Just kidding.
From Software.
Yeah. We're gonna just have an finish out like this. Alright. I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoy this Enter the King. Bye-bye. Wait.